It's time for Twit, This Week in Tech. Yes, we're dressed up a little bit because it's our holiday episode, and lo and behold, a Christmas miracle. Not only do I have Owen J.J. Stone, oh doctor, I have Alex Lindsay, and the return of John C. Dvorak after 3 years lost at sea. It's going to be a great twit. Next.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
This is Twit, This Week in Tech, episode 698, recorded Sunday, December 23rd, 2018. A Christmas miracle. This Week in Tech is brought to you by Simple Contacts. Simple Contacts is an easy and convenient way to renew your contact lens prescription or reorder your contacts from anywhere within minutes. Get $20 off your first order by visiting simplecontacts.com/twit and entering the promo code TWIT at checkout. And by Betterment, the investing tool for those who refuse to settle for average investing. Sign up today at betterment.com/twit and get up to 1 year managed free. And by CashFly. Make this the last month your CDN bill gives you a headache. Join the thousands of others who trust CashFly's reliable network. And just for This Week in Tech, listeners get up to $5,000 in service credits when you sign up by December 31st and migrate in 2019. Learn more at twit.cashfly.com. And by Brex, the first corporate credit card for startups. Get the card free, and Twit listeners get Brex card fees waived in perpetuity at brex.com/twit. It's time for Twit, This Week in Tech, the last show of 2018. And lo and behold, it's a Christmas miracle. We have an amazing panel for you. I'm going to start with the guy who's not here, but boy, we wish he was, in his Philadelphia Flyers Triumph shirt and his Superman mug. Owen, green beard. Is that your actual beard, Owen J.J. Stone?
I'm the Grinch that stole Twitmas. And yes, this is green.
Did you dye it green for the holiday?
I dyed it green for the show, and I tried to do red the other day. It came out pink, so green works.
You look like a chia pet gone wrong. You look like a Smurf that got turned upside down. I don't know what
Oh, I do have a blue beard. I did look like a Smurf. I did look like a Smurf with a blue beard. I told people that Papa Smurf was my uncle, and people don't understand my race. If you check out my Instagram, you can see a picture of me at the Sixers game. I was dancing with the cheerleaders and stuff. Everybody loved it in the building. I got on TV. Everybody loved the blue beard. So hopefully this green beard works out for me.
Owen has a mug. We don't know what's in the mug, but we will be pouring something a little later on that you could put in your mug, if I can just get it to you fast enough. Also with me in studio, Alex Lindsay of the Pixel. Oh my, you are looking dapper.
I'm really in the mood.
He's wearing a velvet smoking jacket.
What is that, velvet?
I know it is. It's velvet. It's quite nice.
So this is our holiday show.
I know.
So we're going to do the big stories of the year and kind of celebrate, and we're going to get a little festive. And my God, I can't believe it really is a Christmas miracle. In studio with us for the first time, I think, in almost 3 years, John C. Dvorak.
Yes.
Is it? How long has it been?
Just as bad.
Yes.
The freeway is still being worked on.
Yes. Yeah. It hasn't changed one bit.
The studio has moved.
We did move. Did somebody tell you?
A festive mood. This is a bowl season. It's a bowl team.
The Appalachian National Champions.
Well, this is one. Here's the thing.
I remember you wore that before. This is not the first time I've seen this.
This is when they won. This is when they're back to back. The reason I had to come back on the show,
yes.
Where's the camera looking at me? Is that
can we get a tally light for Mr. Dvorak?
The one thing about this show that was important to me was I could do call-outs to these various colleges that win bowl games, and somebody from the school
sent you that
would send me one of the jerseys.
So what do you need?
One of the
what do you need this year?
Valdosta State.
Valdosta State, ladies and gentlemen.
They won this Division II championship. Nobody, the West Coast knows who they are. I wear these things around, go to the grocery store. Somebody says, "Are you from there? You go to that school?" No, I went to Berkeley, but I like to wear the thing that some winner instead of the Berkeley Cal stuff. They can't win anything.
Well, they say, "Go Armadillos." What is the Valdosta State?
It looks like
dog.
It looks like the Valdosta State, from what I can tell, appears to be a building.
It's the Valdosta State Gymnasium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Anyway, it's John, we missed you so much. I'm glad to have you here. And the reason I think we were able to get John, and I know is the reason we got Alex in studio, is this. I brought my suitcase full of booze. I thought it'd be kind of fun for this episode. We usually have Jägermeister, and I didn't think Jaeger would really bring
Jaeger's
out...
a good product.
I would definitely not come for Jaeger.
Wait a minute, Jaeger's a good product?
Yeah, it is.
If you like licorice liquors?
Well, it has to be half frozen.
Yeah, we have frozen Jaeger. I think it's been in the freezer since the last time.
I'm afraid I've never had a significant amount of Jaeger without having a stern conversation with a police officer. So, I prefer to. I stopped drinking it.
I don't know what this stuff is going to do to you. This is Louis the
Apple
13th.
presentation of liquor.
Oh my God, is this crazy? Wait a minute. I think I have to take it. Do I have to take it out of here to get it open? It's actually got instructions.
I know you're going to push it off the back.
You need two hands.
Yeah, like we got to brace it. It's going to come off the back. Oh, there it is.
Whoa!
Jeez.
Yo, you're freaking
Chip
me
off
out.
one of
I'm
those things, you
2,000 miles
lost
away.
$2,000.
If you're listening, you're missing a lot of.
John says.
Whoa! It's
John
opening
says
up
the bottle.
mechanically.
Oh, it did. It opened up mechanically.
Whoa.
John says. Let close it again. John says the bottle is more expensive than the liquor.
Yeah.
It's a Baccarat crystal or something.
Whoa!
Yeah,
and it
it's
just
worth
comes
a
open
couple
on its
grand.
own.
Yeah,
You just
if
had to
you
get
do
it out
it
of
right.
You're just making a mess. There you go.
There we go.
All right,
Whoa.
This is.
That should be okay.
How do you get it out of here?
Pull up, straight up.
Just yank it.
Pull it.
It's only worth $3,000.
It's got a neck brace.
Yeah, pull it.
Who lets children play with liquor? What is going on?
And it's got a special crystal
This is
stopper.
after you open it.
I don't think we're
after
gonna
you pull
need
off
the
the
stopper
plastic stopper.
because there's no.
Because
That's
we're going to
nice.
drink it all.
So what's you've had
Look
this
at the
before,
mirror.
John?
Look
What's
at
the
the mirror.
story here?
It's one.
There's a mirror in the box. So
It's
you
their.
see
Makes it
yourself
look bigger.
drinking it.
Makes it look like there's more of it there.
It's the version. I would say the equivalent. The equivalent originally was something like along the lines of.
Now, when was it bottled?
Of Paradis from Hennessy, but then Hennessy upped the ante with this thing called Richard, which is like $5,000.
Oh, this is not that expensive. So the idea is that the reason I was intrigued by this is they said that the people who started this cognac are dead. They will never taste it. It's 100 years of cognac makers contributing their little part to it. Is that right?
Well, I'm thinking it's
Or is that
probably
hyperbole?
averaging 40 years.
Okay.
Maybe there's some older stuff in there. They throw it
But
in
maybe
there.
they were very old when they started.
Blended.
If you get blended of a bunch of barrels of cognac.
Maybe
it
they
might
say, hey, we're about to
Lot of
release
it.
it, so I'm afraid you're going to have to go.
Oh my God! Look at
I'm going to have
that.
to let you go.
No, they shoot them.
So
Exactly.
John,
Anyone-
please be my guest.
He's like, get that out of Leo's hands.
This is actually we throw this out. This is nice.
Out.
Keep
We
it.
got something better.
So
Here,
they
I'll
got a
take that.
glass thing. Give him the glass thing. He might
There we
need it.
go.
So I actually went out, Owen, and bought. I was going to use the Superman mugs for all of us. Time for whiskey, everybody! Whiskey, hee-haw! I was going to go out and get Superman mugs for everybody, but then I realized I can't pour this fine cognac into whiskey, into mugs. So we got some tulip glasses. And John, you want a tulip or a snifter? You get your choice.
Nobody wants a snifter.
I thought Alex might want a snifter.
I like the snifter.
Look,
You want
wait,
a-
John, point a finger or
That's
two.
about right.
That's about $300 worth
It's
of.
actually not even that much. These glasses don't hold that much.
Oh, good. Thank God. We are going to look at the week's stories. You know, it's funny.
He's a professional pourer. Those are equally. Look at him. He's on point with that.
Oh,
Okay.
no. Look at
I
this. Is
overfilled
Uncle John-
this one. There you go. That'll
John's
be
an
mine.
expert. John's an
I was
expert.
about to say. I jinxed you.
He's a whiz.
Oh, can I say something before we get started?
Yes, please.
To all the people, as me being the champion of the people, it's a great holiday season. The JCD's back. It's time for family and friends. We came back and brought it back at the 18th century, and we got good liquor. I'm not having none, but they're gonna have some, and you're gonna see baby Jesus, old doctor, and three wise men on this episode today on Twitter.
No,
it's gonna be amazing.
it's not
Horrible,
right.
Great
I
year
know.
Twitter. This is gonna be good.
I would have flown
I'm
you out.
excited.
I would have flown you out if I could have. But
Don't drop it.
we spent all the money on the
So-
booze.
Yeah.
So cheers, oh doctor. This is to you. Cheers, John. It's great to have you. Really, seriously, great to have you back. I know we're never getting you again, so I'm going to really enjoy this episode of Twit. We are going to look at the. Everybody, should we try it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I want to see your funky face when you drink it.
Tastes just like Hennessy. Wow, that tastes kind of good. It's good, right?
Yeah, it's good.
It's smooth.
It's very
Smooth. It's good. It's very good.
It's alcoholic.
It's $120 an ounce.
Make my ears stand on end.
It's $120 an ounce, but the bottle is included in that breakdown.
Yeah, it comes with a bottle, right?
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is
bottles are openly traded. It's $1,000 cognac is what it really is.
But you can get this bottle on eBay for a couple of grand and put something else in it.
Or you could sell it on eBay and get some of your money back.
Oh, that's a
There you
good
go.
idea.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, finish the bottle, send it to me, and I'll put some in there in perpetrate. When the ladies come over, I'll be like, hey, girl, you know what I mean?
He'll review
wanna-
it for you.
You want to
It's actually-
sip?
It's a beautiful bottle. No, I'm going to keep it at home.
Yeah, put some
I like it.
1738 in.
That's what you were saying. Get some Hennessy.
Remy.
Remy 1738.
Yeah.
This is Remy.
Costco.
Remy 1738 at Costco.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a winner.
Do they sell it in 6-packs?
Yeah. Nice liter. It's a whole liter
It's a
for
liter.
$55.
No, I'd have to get more bottles
No, you pour it in there and then you drink the rest of it.
and leave it in the bottle.
Show that off.
I am glad you're here, John, because we've had a couple of years of tech news without, and almost not a show goes by where people say, "I wish John." I'd like to know what John. What's going on with my hair? I'd like to know what John.
That's what I
thinks
like to know.
about. I'm sorry.
Makeup.
I'm gonna look like a Christmas goose. What does John think of that? So
Yeah,
I have a lot of
specifically.
stories. Let's see. Where should we begin? This was at the beginning of the year, Mark Zuckerberg's personal challenge. It was his New Year resolution for 2018, fixing Facebook.
What was there a fix?
Was it not broken? He says Facebook has a lot of work to do when it comes to harassment, election interference, and making sure it's a meaningful platform to be on. So he made it his personal challenge for the year to focus on fixing these important issues. This was about the worst year Facebook's ever had.
Yeah, this is fixing
2017
something that's not
was.
really broke.
2017 was the worst year that Facebook had ever had, and then it was followed by 2018.
A couple of days ago, Wired published this 21 and counting biggest Facebook scandals of 2018. Do you want me to list them? Mark actually had to testify in front of Congress, although that was a success for him. Congress maybe looked stupid. And
Congress always looks
He
stupid with tech people. They're the
he
worst.
looked like Data.
He looked like Data from the Star Trek. Yes, he did. He had this strange, greasy, pasty. He always does. He looks like he's.
I
I was going to say, that's just his face.
I think it's a
That's just his face.
shift changer.
Shift changer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stock price.
Shape shifter.
There he is. There's Data testifying
Let's get the word.
in Congress.
There he is.
Exactly what he looked
Shape
like.
shifter.
He's a shapeshifter. Facebook. You think? Well, wait a minute, John. You said something
You
provocative.
don't look greasy enough, Mark. Let me spray some water. Actually, let's spray some Crisco on your face.
What he looks like is he's wearing grease paint. Remember the old makeup that they used to wear? Grease paint.
I just said the spray. They spray him.
Yeah.
with the-
He looks like he's wearing grease paint.
Does anybody have any Pam?
You said Facebook doesn't need fixing. Is
I don't-
Facebook
as far as
exactly
I'm
as
concerned,
it
they
should
don't.
be?
Well, every time he starts to fix it, it makes it worse. I mean, I've always thought that Facebook serves a function for certain people that need Facebook, and I think it does it does the job. I mean, I don't know how many people are really bitching and moaning about Facebook that much, except people that hate Facebook. I don't particularly like Facebook. I would complain about it, but
Are you on Facebook?
no, I've never had an account.
Yeah.
You've been on Facebook and you quit Facebook and then you came back again.
And I quit it again and I come back. I do that regularly. You know why? I love it because every time I deactivate my Facebook account, every one of my hundreds of thousands of friends get a notice saying Leo's just unfriended you. Facebook is so awful.
That's not true. No, I mean, it's not true that you unfriended them, so
No.
that's a lie.
But- well,
Facebook is dishonest.
Oh, what a surprise.
You don't say.
Just wanted to see how the
When you
direction
had-
was.
it's too bad because when you create a Facebook account and then you deactivate it, they put 8 of your best friends up there. I've seen you. I haven't seen you, John. But I've seen Alex. I've seen Odocta, and they say your friends are sad that you're leaving.
Do they do
Would you
a
like
little
to
morph where
tell
they give you
them why?
puppy dog eyes?
Yeah, it practically is. It's like they actually algorithmically choose the saddest picture, and then it said, "Tell them why you're leaving, Leo."
Well, leaving is like the mob. You don't really ever leave. Like John's
you
never been
don't.
on there, so he's okay. But I've had so many people tell me that they're quitting Facebook, and then I just bet them $20 that they'll be back in 8 weeks, and everybody comes back. So I again, same thing as John said. Like you're gonna complain about it, but you're still using it. I use it, but I manipulate it to my advantage, and so it doesn't bother me as much
That's
because
what
I'm
everybody
lying
says.
all over Facebook. That's all that matters. I'm getting Viagra ads
you fuzz your Facebook account.
join time. It's our time now. 60s dating and older. So they think I'm an old guy living in New York City. I don't really care about Facebook.
It is really the case, and Scooter X in our chat room, who's for the holiday season has decided to call himself Krampus X. It says, I use Facebook every day, get a lot out of it. There are a lot of people, of course, that's how they stay in touch with family and friends. I do get the feeling, though, a lot of people use it and hate themselves for using it, or kind of not like you watch it, you look at the news feed, and it makes you a little unsettled and dissatisfied. You ever get that feeling?
I never never look at it.
You don't know, I know.
I
don't think regular
Jedi mind tricks don't work on me.
I don't think regular
they work on me. I always felt bad when I was. That's one of the reasons I quit. I didn't make.
I don't think regular people feel that.
You on it now or not?
I don't. This is why I deactivated it. But if you just look at it, it reactivates it.
Well,
if you just look at it,
yeah.
Well, so for me,
that's funny.
Here's what I did: is I took it off my phone.
Okay, I'm currently inactive.
I didn't drop out of Facebook. I just took it off my phone, and I check in every once in a while and take a look at it. But I don't taking it off my phone. I did decide. I looked at the screen time. The screen time thing
the
on the
phone
iPhone
is the worst use. You should never use Facebook on your phone. There's been studies.
Well, it was the screen time that Apple put on when I looked at that I was spending 6 hours in screen time. I was like, oh, I need to stop that. So I dropped. I'm down to about 2.5 hours. And
a day?
A day on screen time.
On screen time?
All screen time across all apps.
Oh, okay.
Like not just on, and I'm going down to, I'm going to keep on going down.
What are the other apps that you use a lot of?
I use Flipboard a lot. I use Flipboard is probably the thing I use the most because
on your phone.
On my phone. That's
Actually,
what I use.
I really don't like these algorithmic news things. I really feel like they're watching what I read, and then they give me stuff they think I want.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it actually...
How does this differ from... if you remember the early days in the 70s and 80s, especially in the early 80s, this was like the dream come true. Everybody was going to have this, the news feeds are going to be customized for you. You're only going to read what you want to read about. And they made that a big deal, and Facebook executes it, and now everyone's complaining. This reminds me, to hog the show, reminds me of Google. Everybody in the 80s especially, all the world's libraries are all going to be combined. They're all going to be all downloaded and downloadable and scanned in. Nobody does it. Google starts to do it, and they all complain. This is a world of complainers.
But wait a minute, John. I think you're right. You nailed something. We all thought in the 70s and the 80s and 90s, especially when the internet started taking off, the internet was going to be a great democratizing force. The gatekeepers would fall. It would be friction-free commerce. The world would be at a better place. It hasn't turned out. And I think that's what's happened is we thought algorithmic news would be the panacea, but it turns out it's not. Because you get a filter bubble. You only get stories you want to read. I honestly get stories. I don't even know why they're putting them in my feed. Obviously, I must have clicked on something from People Magazine. I don't care what Meghan Markle is up to, but I keep getting those stories.
Well,
some things are advertising. They need to get money too. So yeah, they're going to put things in front of you that you want, but they also put things in front of you that they need to make money on.
I think the internet is a disappointment, is what I'm saying. I think we're disappointed. I think we did have high hopes, John, and it failed us.
Isn't that life, bro?
Oh yeah.
There's good things. There's bad things about life. I mean,
so John, for your benefit, I reactivated by accident because I logged into Facebook. Now, let me first help me get off of Facebook. What do you think I click here? General, security and login, privacy, timeline. You click your Facebook information, okay? And here it is. Delete your account and information. I don't want to delete it. I just want to deactivate it. Wait a minute.
This is like being, I'm an alcoholic, but I think I can maybe have one drink a week.
I can deactivate it. Keep in mind, when you delete your Facebook account, Messenger will also be deleted, including your messages. By the way, this is a backhanded way of saying when you deactivate, Messenger stays active. You actually aren't leaving Facebook Messenger. You're just leaving Facebook. But let's show you what happens when you click deactivate. Oh, Clayton Morris, Tim Posar, Jeff Jarvis, Johnny. Look how sad Jeff looks.
Oh, poor Jeff.
Jeff is like, you're leaving me?
Are you sure you want to deactivate?
Clayton's like, hey man, don't leave.
You'll no longer be able to keep in touch with your 344 friends on Facebook, including my own daughter. So what are the choices? This is temporary. I'll be back. By the way, my daughter, I talked to her minutes ago, so I think I'll see her.
Pretty sure she's not sad about it.
She's not sad. I have a privacy concern. Yeah, I'll do that. Wait a minute. Please remember, you can always control the information you share and who can see it.
You know, this reminds me of these scam companies, and I can name a few of them, that you sign up for their services and then you quit. They got a guy on the phone immediately, saying, no, you don't want to quit.
Absolutely.
You want to stick around. We'll give you a deal. We'll give you 2 months for the price. We'll give you this whole month free.
So I'm now deactivating, and everybody, all 344 friends will now get a message, Leo has unfriended you. Finally, somebody said, why do you keep unfriending me? I said, well, that's why.
What was the company you used to get CDs from? You buy a CD for $1.
Oh,
No,
Columbia
no,
Record Company.
Columbia Records. Yeah, that's what that was like. You'd buy your little CDs, you'd quit, and then they keep sending you bills and telling you to come back.
I fell for that
And if
one.
you sign back up,
I was a member of that for years. I couldn't get out of it.
The best thing, we were at a dorm. We were at a boarding school. We were at a dorm, and they can never follow up with you. So you'd sign up for those CDs,
and you just disappear.
And then my cousin, I think he did Badita Cronin, and what was funny is what you really realized was that you realized how much they sell that list, and that list was way more important than the CDs.
Get a lot of
because
stuff.
it would be the best part was is it would be like you, Badita.
Not that many people pick up on that. I took a seminar on direct marketing back in the late 70s, and one of the guy I was teaching, it was in New York, had some business with Columbia, and he says they don't expect you to ever pay the bill.
Right. Well, the discs were 44 cents. I mean, when I worked for Sony, it was 44 cents a disc for manufacturing. So it cost 10 discs.
Oh yeah, it cost them nothing.
For some dollars, and then they would sell you.
Do they pay the artist
list.
anything, or is it like Spotify?
The artists get paid a percentage of what they made on it.
3 cents.
So it's so it's except for Michael Jackson, I think he got a bucket no matter what. Like it was Michael Jackson was, by the time he got to the 90s when I was at Sony.
That's because he had Colonel Parker negotiating for him.
Yeah, it was
Elvis.
Hard number.
I'm just waiting to see. Nobody was listening. I just checked.
I was.
Yeah, you were. You proved it. One of the things that happened. ITM?
This guy said.
ITM.
Yeah.
in the morning.
Oh. Is that a no agenda reference?
He said it. I just said it back.
Uh-huh. What does it mean? I've never understood.
In the
that.
morning.
It means it's in the morning? It's what DJs say.
It's a
right?
long story.
It's one of the. This is what's great about No Agenda.
Episode 200.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing with PewDiePie. You can't pick up PewDiePie today because you won't get any of the jokes. We took
the idea from people like Jim Rome.
Same thing.
Yeah, if you don't know what to or the Ditto Heads.
Right. But once you're in the group, you never leave because you understand all the jokes. Right?
Yeah, all the inside stuff.
Yeah. We don't have that, do we?
Yeah, you do.
We have the 80s.
We have the 80s.
Yeah, all the random references.
I'll never forget the 80s. What a great decade.
I mean, there's a certain there's an in-group of everybody that knows Princess Bride.
He's drinking it.
And so you can always, that they're in or out by you say, do you think there are any RUSs? And they go, rodents of unusual size. And if they don't say that, if they just look at you blindly, they're out of the loop.
That's from the Princess Bride.
Yeah, exactly. But rodents of unusual size is an important separator between the in and the out.
Facebook is perfect. It had a wonderful year, except it lost more money in the stock market than any company in history. More than $100 billion in one day. The biggest one-day loss for any company in...
It's bounced back.
Still running.
Has it bounced back?
Yeah.
It plummeted by $119 billion to $510 billion. What's the market cap today for Facebook, I wonder?
Yeah, look it up.
I'll check. I mean, this is a bad time because all the tech stocks tanked at the end of the year.
Apple's had a rough month.
All these companies have a little rough month. But so what?
Market cap, what did I say, 510? Mm-hmm. It's now $359 billion.
Oh, no, just $359 billion.
Well, when you start at 900, that's not so good.
But that 900 was inflated.
Okay. There were a couple of companies that made it to $1 trillion this year.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
They're back down, but Apple and was it Amazon? Was it
Amazon?
Yeah.
I think Microsoft hit it too.
Oh yeah, Microsoft for a brief period of time actually beat Apple. I don't think it made $1 trillion, but it was better.
It beat Amazon.
Yeah, no, I think it
did it?
Just a ding.
Just a little for a second.
Hey, we're here.
Who cares?
A cup of coffee.
They got the flag.
Is market cap irrelevant?
Don't you think?
I don't know.
It's not irrelevant if you're doing an M&A.
You know about all this stuff.
I do.
You do a stock market show?
Yes, I do. If you're doing an M&A, it's hugely relevant. And if you're trying to get a lot of...
mergers and acquisitions,
and
if you're buying.
Yes, and if you're doing a lot of bank work, and you got to take out loans and you got to base it on the value of the company, it's valuable. But to the public,
I mean,
not really.
One of the things that the stock value is important for is employee retention, because everybody's real money.
This is exactly right. And these companies have exploited this. Microsoft showed the way years ago by saying, look, we're not going to pay you a lot of money. And Microsoft would actually have, I've heard this story from a number of people that work there, they would hire top guys, and then they would say, I'm going to hire you to do something, but you have to take less money than you were making before. Just some sort of crazy Bill Gates ego thing. So, okay, I will. But the advantage is you're going to be able...
an upside.
Yeah, you're going to be able to make money on the come because of the stock doubling and tripling and quadrupling in the early days. It stopped doing that, of course, and so they couldn't do that anymore. And that gimmick is the same one that Amazon's played. Apple, not so much.
Paul Allen played it at Tech TV.
But
Yeah,
Google,
he did.
Facebook, and Apple, I don't think that they're really playing that game. They are just, that is what you have to do, because
even if you pay people really well, as Google does and Apple does, you still have to have a stock
and a really good stock program.
You do.
And you have to, and the thing is that has to keep on growing. That's why they're doing stock buybacks. That's why they're doing all these things, because
to jack the price up.
If that doesn't keep inching its way forward, you have people starting to think about, well, where else should I go? And the problem is that these companies are, the reason that all these coding programs and everything else, they're out of good coders. It takes years to develop. It's like one of those things, like it's like this bottle of Louis XIII. There is a limit. It takes 10 or 15 years to become a good coder. And the problem is that was, those guys started in 2000. So the problem is they don't have them. And it's not just that they went to school for code. It's that they understand how to work in a large team, how to check their code in, how to work with architecture, how to not write bad code, how to comment their code. All these things are important, and it takes a long time to get good at it.
Actually,
and they
most
can't
of
get
the boot camps emphasize exactly what you said.
They have to, because
the boot camps, my son went to one.
Yeah.
And
did
then
he
he
really?
became a part owner or something. He worked there for a while, and now
Right.
the boot camp is. But he said that the main things they do is they do exactly what Alex said, plus one other thing. They teach you how to go out and sell yourself and get a job.
Right.
And there's a lot of time spent on
That's
that.
the most, like how to do an interview, how to answer the questions about
They have
wire
mock
mount,
interviews.
colors,
They go in,
covers
you go,
around.
you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do that.
What does Andrew Horowitz say about Facebook stock? Should I buy? Should I sell?
We have a competition on Facebook.
Do you?
I'm long and he went short and lost.
He lost?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're still long on Facebook.
Yeah. I thought it hit bottom when it hit 135 or something.
So
like
you
that.
bought when it was at the bottom. That was smart.
Well, I bounced it. I thought it was a bouncer. It was going to hit. Everybody else thought it was just going to keep
He
dropping.
thought it was
to
a dead
50.
cat bounce,
I think.
right?
Well, no, dead cat. Well, yeah, right, exactly. It would be a dead cat bounce, which means it's just a
See,
dead cat.
I've been paying attention.
You're paying attention.
I know what's going
It's
on.
also called dead cow.
That's worse than a dead cat. So, okay, we're not going to pay attention to the stock. Let's. I think Mark might care that he lost $15 billion more than any of the 500 richest.
I
Well,
don't
let's
think,
just point
I
out-
really
let's just point
honestly
out
don't think he cares.
No.
And I think that Bill Gates once said, once you have more than $1 billion or more than 500 million,
infinitely rich.
you just don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like you just don't have that thought process.
You have more money than you can spend.
Yeah,
so-
if it went to 125 on Friday, then I got bounced off the game. Anyway, somebody
And
said.
doesn't
it's the
Mark
equivalent of a penny stock.
Yeah, penny stock.
Didn't Mark say he was giving away half of his income or whatever anyway? Like he's
The
going to
foundation.
donate his money.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's the difference? Either he gets a tax break on it or he loses it. He's just giving away money anyway. So obviously it doesn't hurt him.
Do we care
He's
that-
got a plan.
Do we care that Cambridge Analytica harvested data of, and the number keeps changing. Originally it was 87 million, then Facebook downgraded it. It's only 50 million. Oh, no, wait a minute. Now it's 87 again. I don't know what the number is, but it's a lot of people. Do we care about that? Or is
Why,
that just
why are we care? Why would we care?
Well, you wouldn't care. You're not on Facebook.
Well, even if I was on Facebook, why would I care?
Well, because it's I guess you figure it's your personal information. You gave it to Facebook. They can do anything they want with it.
I'm not going to give all my personal information to Facebook. Who does that?
People do that every day.
Well,
People do that every day.
I know, but
Maybe they don't care.
here's the thing. I don't put anything
I think a lot of people don't care. He's right.
I don't put anything on the internet that I don't want published. Like
Again.
that's the bottom. I mean, that's the bottom line. Is that I don't, when I tweet, when I'm talking on Facebook, privately or publicly, I look at everything that I do as a public. That's why almost all my posts are all public. I don't do to friends. I don't do all those things because I don't. It is the thought process. I don't want to think about the fact that this might be private. It's when we started with Path. Remember Path?
I loved Path.
I love
missed
Path, and I started putting on pictures of my
50 friends, that's
kids,
all
and
you
I
got.
started doing other things, and then I was like, nope, and I just quit.
You were
I was
smart.
like, I don't want to think
I
about that.
forgot the Path is kind of private, and I mentioned something that Kevin Rose had said on Path, and he was mad at me.
Yeah, exactly. And I just was like, so for me,
I just forgot.
But that was the moment when I consciously went, anything I do online is going to be
public.
It's always going to be public.
It's public.
And I think about it as public. There's nothing hidden that someone can steal from me. It is just, if I'm not willing to make it public, I shouldn't be putting it on. I think most people should think of it that way.
So the thing I always harp on when I'm on this show is that we know better, but the average people, you have no idea. Once or twice a month, I'm telling some mom, hey, don't put a picture of your kid in the bathtub on public. Like, what do you mean it's
really?
public? Only my family can see it. I'm like, no, you don't understand when it's there. I put it real simple. If it says like and comment, then it's private. If it has that share check next to it, that means the whole world can see your naked baby in 30 seconds. So don't do it. And regular people don't understand.
And you shouldn't put it in private either. You should. That's something that you should do whatever you want to do, but you should understand. But you should understand the ramifications of how the operations work. If you want to put your naked baby out there, that's on you. But if you don't, if you think to yourself, I wouldn't even text
I'm only showing my family these pictures or whatever, you got to understand that it's bigger than that.
I just feel like I'm talking to a guy with a chia beard. I'm sorry, it's hard to take you. Facebook overhauled its news feed to focus not on news, but what your friends and family share. That's why you joined Facebook, right? Well, they killed the news companies. MIC, the company that was based on Facebook traffic, had to go out of business.
They didn't have to.
Well, they weren't making any. I don't have to either, but
it was a bloodbath. Yeah. It was a bloodbath.
It was a bloodbath,
and they didn't tell anyone they were going to do it, and they just.
But that's part of fixing it, right? That was
the problem is that the whole move fast and break things sets up a situation where you've got a lot of code that isn't architected in a way that makes it easy to fix. So changing these things is like pulling apart. It's like pulling a knife out of somebody. Like you don't know how much damage it's going to do when they start to do it. And so I think that that's why Facebook has been so slow. Is that it's not trivial to do what they're doing, and it affects a lot of people.
John, do you think that social media is used to swing people's votes or to persuade people or to create dysfunction in our political discourse?
Well, I think the discourse has always been dysfunctional, but
it's
I think
getting worse, isn't it?
I don't think so.
You don't think it's more polarized?
But I do say, well, the polarization is a different story, but I think that...
But that's one of the things supposedly they're trying to do, right?
Who's they?
The Internet Research Agency, the Russians.
The Russians...
You don't buy that?
Well, I think the Russians. I don't think. I would assume, knowing that we're the kings of and the inventors of public relations, and we have most of the companies in the world, and we have most of the good ideas, and the Pentagon's got something like 5,000 PR specialists. That I would think that we, as a nation, do much more than that one.
I'm sure that's
sleazy operation.
I'm sure that's true.
In Russia,
same thing with spying. Same thing with
we're the kings.
Yeah.
So whatever they're
doing. But does that make it okay for them to do that? I mean, shouldn't we defend against it, or should we just say, we're doing it, so go ahead?
No, we should defend against it, but we have to. Again, I think it really goes back to what Doctor just said, which is that. He finds a woman who's doing something stupid on Facebook, and he has to lecture her and probably a half a dozen other people constantly because the public is just left stupid because the news media does such a poor job of informing people about how to do stuff like this. All they do is shake the Russians.
That's true.
Okay, the Russians. They don't tell anybody how to look at things properly, how to analyze. It's like getting a lousy education at a junior college.
It's not in their interest. Because honestly, they want people to be spun up. They want people.
Oh yeah, because then you buy more.
And not for nothing.
That's true. I agree with that.
That's the whole basis of politics. In the 50s and 60s, they go grab guys out of the union and say, "Okay, you're in this union. You're voting this way." They give you $5 and they say you elect this guy and he's going to take care of the unions. That's how politics works. The bottom line is who's doing the manipulating better than the other person. And Russia actually did a good job. They found a new way in. And you think that regular politicians are going to take that data and try and manipulate and mold things to their nature? That's the way the world works. And they're using a new medium to do it.
So agreed. So what's the best defense?
The best defense is to actually get good at using the medium to communicate. In
other words, don't try to protect the American public from themselves. Educate them.
You definitely should look at how to close this. I mean, I think that how to close some of those loops, how to keep on closing some of the loops, and that's going to be a whack-a-mole, and you're going to keep on going down that path. But the other side of that, though, is that
the Honest Ads Act, which actually never did pass Congress, but the attempt was to say, whoever buys
no American corporation could possibly adhere to it.
It wasn't about making ads honest. It was about attributing the ad. Whoever bought the ad, if it was bought by the Internet Research Agency,
it's too easy to. It's like
brought to you by Russian Troll Farm.
It's like a VPN. You just okay, this guy bought it, but he's got nothing to do with it.
It'll never be traceable back. That's the problem with the internet. You can't trace it back.
Yeah,
everybody's
never going to be
back.
fixed that way.
Yeah, how you supposed to?
I think the approach is just let everything go nuts,
and then what?
And then just have fun looking at it. It's great. It's unbelievable.
It is amusing.
Have you seen some of those ads supposedly that ran on Facebook? I never saw them when they ran.
I did,
but they're crazy. They're hilarious.
Well, and I think that one of the things.
No, but some of them were, and I'll address this to Doctor. Some of them were designed to create racial strife in the United States, right?
Oh, wait, here's the key thing. You want to fix it? I could totally fix it. How about we cut the defense deficit and put it into education so that people actually know how to read and do their own research and understanding how things work. We're really low in the educational bar as far as the world's concerned.
But I have to say,
so maybe if we just read a book.
Hey, you're talking to us in California. We're like second to the bottom now.
No, it's depressing. It's bad. This is predicated on a false notion that people use reason to vote. They don't. They use emotions to vote.
Sure.
So you don't ever if you're going to change somebody's vote, you don't ever appeal to their reason. I can't convince somebody through reason to change their opinion. You do it with emotion like this. Satan, if I win, Clinton wins. Jesus, not if I can help it. Press like to help Jesus win. Now, nobody looks at that and says, this is one of the Russian ads, by the way.
It's a beauty.
Nobody looks at that and says, yeah, that's right, I'm going to press like. Or do they?
Do you think it really makes it changes any? You think a Clinton
doesn't change anybody's?
You think a Clinton voter's going to? Oh my God, I better vote for the other guy, or a Trump voter's going to?
But all
no, it changes nothing.
How about this one?
It's just funny.
This is a fake group called Blacktivist that was created again by the Russian troll farm.
This was one of their better bits.
Never forget that the Black Panthers, a group formed to protect black people from the KKK, was dismantled by the U.S. government, but the KKK exists today.
They weren't formed to protect the people from the KKK. The Black Panthers, a California operation. They probably half of them didn't know what the KK was or knew it existed. It was a whole different reason. It was a liberation movement.
Right.
I don't think you're right, my brother. The conspiracies of the Klan and the government have told me.
Wait a minute, though. We're not debating the veracity of this ad. That's not the point.
No, we are debating the veracity of this ad. I believe that the government has succeeded to try to pontificate my mind against me, and you don't understand what the KKK was and how the government let them do it, brother.
Thank you, Jesse.
DJ Khaled, I think is who he is. I don't know. I'm confused. You do look a little with a green beard. You could be DJ Khaled.
It's a good ad. Yeah. I was just saying.
So, but that's the question. Is this persuasive to people? I agree. It's amusing if you look at it.
Very amusing.
And again, my point of not being educated. If you don't know about the history,
if you're
American
an
history,
idiot, I agree.
But America's got a lot of idiots right now.
How about this one? This is a Confederate flag. This is during the controversy over the flying the Confederate flag. It's heritage, not hate. The South will rise again. Oh, boy. Save your Confederate dollars, boys.
They've been saying it for a long time, ever since somebody told me it's rising again because of air conditioning, which I believe is probably the reason.
The problem of the South, it was too hot. But now that we have air conditioning, the South will rise again.
Well, Bill Clinton had Southern Confederate flags on many of his badges. And
did he?
You can look it up.
He's from Arkansas.
You can look it up.
He's no fool.
Well, and there's a lot of stuff.
Good old boy.
Well, there's a lot of coded stuff that was going on. When the woman who was in the runoff, shows up and she wears a Confederate hat, and goes to Jefferson Davis and says, "Well, it's just history." I mean, that's not history. That's a coded.
It's coded. It's racism.
Yeah,
it's a dog whistle.
That's just what it is. Who cares?
Well, some people might. If you're black, you might.
We care. We care.
Yeah, vote. Get out to vote. Vote her out.
By the way, I
They
think
vote. I mean, but I'm saying
I think
it's
we
the
had
same
the biggest turnout
points.
in a midterm election ever, didn't we? In November, I think it was a very big.
It's
turn.
big, yeah.
50%.
We have more people here too. It has something to do with it.
Yeah, but the percentage of eligible voters who voted.
Yeah,
was
they
higher
all
than-
wanted to vote on for something.
and let's just say this, and then we can.
And so
get
the
off of
Russian
politics.
thing didn't work. Seems
didn't
to
work.
me.
Let me say this: half the country didn't want to vote at all for either two of the dummies that were running for president. So half the country's like, look, I'm not getting involved in this snake
that's probably
oil
true.
salesman,
Yeah.
Russia, whatever. So half the country just wasn't swayed at all. They didn't even go out to vote when previously they had record numbers of voters. So all that's taken with a grain of salt.
This was not.
I don't wanna get into politics.
Al Gore and Bush was very similar kind of thing.
I don't want to get too much into politics. It's mostly really about social media.
We're talking about
and whether
social
we're
media,
worried
not
about
politics.
the impact of social media on the national discourse. How about that? It does boil down to politics.
And we're done.
And we're done. We're done with Facebook, too. We're going to move on. That was just one of many stories this year that bored everybody. We're going to.
I wonder how many people really cared to the extent that the tech community cared.
Look, almost every single story today.
Nobody
cares.
Nobody cares.
The only, I mean, I am sincere. When I say, oh my God, they're copying the iPhone 10 notch at Mobile World Congress, I don't think my mom's up in arms over that.
Nobody
cares.
Nobody cares.
The only thing I'll say about Facebook is that they're that what they have to manage is the fact that people don't feel that connected, like they're not seen as the cool company anymore. There's just a lot of tarnish on them, and the problem is that the brands.
The other problem is the kids, especially people
the
under
kids
25
don't think they're cool.
use Facebook.
Well, no, and there's two problems
No,
here.
they don't.
The kids don't think that they're cool.
Well,
and
that's
the
the
brands
future.
and the brands hate
lose the
them.
brands-
No, the brands hate them. The brands hate
The brands
Facebook.
don't want to advertise on
They-
Facebook.
no,
wait
they-
a minute. I take it.
Oh no, they
umbrage.
advertise on Facebook because they have to.
Give us
They-
the revenue on Facebook.
What?
Revenue.
Revenue
All
on
right.
Facebook.
As I remember,
Right,
it
it's like-
was very
It's
good.
40 billion or something.
And
on
No,
it.
they
mobile
feel
was up
trapped.
to 80%. I mean, it's done very
But the
well.
brands feel trapped.
They have to.
They hate the fact that they don't have access to their own followers.
You know what brands hate?
They hate the fact that they
Brands
can't.
hate that they have to advertise at all. People should just
No,
buy
but
their
they-
freaking
this is
widgets.
true.
But the thing is that they don't hate Google AdWords. They hate Facebook
But I'll
because they
tell
feel
you,
manipulated.
Google and Facebook, if you're a brand and
No,
you're
no,
not
it's-
buying Google and Facebook, you're nuts.
Well, and not only that, as someone who
Because they can target like crazy.
and it makes it so much easier. Like the thing is that but the point is that there's all of these other the brands don't like them, the kids don't like them. That's a
That's an
dangerous
issue. There is
place.
a sense of
There's
dislike.
There's a dangerous place for Facebook to be that they have to get over.
Half this panel's not on Facebook.
I think a lot of this has to do with the propaganda that the news media's finally gotten a clue and said, hey, this Facebook operation is eating our lunch. Look at the sales that they've got. That's out of our pockets. Let's go after them.
Yep, let's they're in there snooping to find out all the goodies. Oh, Facebook is selling your messenger stuff to Netflix and Google, and everybody. So you're right about that. The more they report, they keep dinking at Facebook's armor and hopefully making a way for themselves to get some traction and get some control back. But speaking of all that, if you wanted to get a hold of me, Uncle Leo, do you have a contact solution? You can find my address. You said you was going to mail me something.
I'm going to send you a Tupperware of some fine Hennessy.
Okay.
Cognac. It's Remy time. Everybody take a break. You can sip whatever's in that fine Superman mug of yours. We're going to talk about our new sponsor, Simple Contacts. I am thrilled. I did an eye exam on my phone. It was so fun. You put the phone here, you step back, it gives you an eye exam, you record a video, they give it to a doctor, an eye doctor. He writes a prescription, and you get your contacts by mail. The other thing that thrilled me is I got my year's worth of contacts. They're right here. I just got them for $100 less than I was paying from those other online contact lens merchants. It's exactly the same brand, same prescription. I love this. I don't have. It's all about convenience these days, right? This is the most convenient, the easiest way to renew your contact lens prescription, to reorder contacts from anywhere on your phone with the Simple Contacts app. I was thrilled to try this. The app did my prescription. It let me renew it. I reordered my brand of lenses. It actually, they said, scan the barcode on the box. So I got exactly the same brand. It basically brings the eye doctor to your house. The vision test is designed by doctors. Every test is carefully reviewed by doctors. It's actually a video of you taking the test. So it's essentially the same as you'd be doing at the eye doctors, but you don't have to leave your house. And Simple Contacts has every one of them. Every brand of lens. The best prices I've seen anywhere. The eye exam is $20. They offer free shipping. Now, you should still go, and I want to make the point of this, for your periodic full eye health exam, the puff test and all the stuff, the glaucoma. You got to do all of that. But if what you're doing is trying to renew your prescription for your contact lenses, this is the easiest, fastest way to do it. And don't worry, we're going to give you your $20 back on your first Simple Contacts order. Just go to simplecontacts.com/twit, enter the promo code TWIT at checkout. Simple. This was so easy. And I'm set for a year. Simplecontacts.com/twit. $20 off your first Simple Contacts order when you use the code TWIT at checkout. I love this. I'll have to say, there's one thing the internet does have down. It has made e-commerce so much easier. Did you shop? How much of what you did for Christmas was online, Doctor? Did you shop online or did you go to a store?
So I'm going to sound like a grumpy old man.
No, we got the grumpiest old man right here. You cannot.
Yeah. I'm
original.
I'm channeling my JCD on this. So my family businesses, we own UPS stores, and it is an absolute killer that Amazon has done. So
what happened?
I'm just going to say our volume of shipping and packing and stuff is dropped dramatically, which is our feast or famine season, because people shop directly and get gift wrap shopping, or they send it to their family and have them wrap it when they get there. The volume that we've lost out on is crushing us.
So you're saying people aren't sending their own gifts; they're using Amazon.
Yeah, not only Amazon,
it doesn't go through you
because of the fight now. Everybody gets the free 2-day shipping. So it's Amazon, Target, Walmart. So instead of them buying all their presents, coming to us, we ship them to their family. They buy them and have them sent directly to them, and then have their kids or whatever wrap them for their grandkids, stuff like that. So we're getting cut out as the middlemen for shippers, which was our peak season, is now failing miserably. Like, I've been talking to my uncle about it. He doesn't understand the internet or how things work, and I've been telling him that we need to do things differently. He doesn't understand it, but it is soul crushing what this online shopping and free shipping is doing. Not only that, but just to get into a tangent, drivers and UPS, people are worried about them striking and things like that. Amazon is crippling the shipping market because everyone else is trying to compete, and they're doing a poor job at it. If you ordered 4 things from Target, Target will send you a small 1-ounce item in a huge 18 by 18 box, one thing at a time, because they don't know the logistics of packing and shipping. It is ruining everything. It's insane.
It's true, insane. Because Jason Howell got a package of Oreos for All About Android, Android Oreo. It was one package. The box was like 6 feet by 4 feet.
I've gotten big boxes from Amazon.
But I've been told there's a reason. It's for packing the truck. Amazon is so smart in their algorithms that they choose the boxes not merely for the thing that's in it, but also so how they will all fit into the truck so that they don't slide around in the truck.
That sounds like bull crap.
That sounds Amazon, like Jeff Bezos to me. I mean, it's algorithms.
Amazon has a better track record of doing that. If they do it, I believe it is for a reason, because they don't do it on every shipment.
They're not going to waste money sending something in a giant box for no reason. There's a reason they're doing it.
Just go order 4 things from Target, Uncle Leo, and then watch the boxes that they come in. You'll laugh, because it's just laughable. Everything they ship is like that.
Yeah.
You can order 4 things at one time. They send you 4 different shipments.
Well, there are different warehouses, maybe.
That could be.
I have the mom principle. My mother still has a flip phone, but we get all our gifts delivered straight from Amazon.
She buys on a flip phone?
No. I'm just saying that she doesn't. She is not a technologically. She's not a technologically driven person.
I'm so confused.
No, it's just like she's not technologically driven. I can't get her to get a smartphone, and she still.
But she gets on the computer and goes nuts.
No. She orders. All her grandkids get everything from Amazon directly, because she doesn't. As soon as she did that 1 year, a couple years ago.
How does she order?
Oh, no, she goes on a computer.
Hello, Amazon.
She has a computer.
Oh,
okay.
That's what we said.
I'm just saying that she's not. And the thing that I think is more. I think the thing that is more frightening for UPS and FedEx are all these planes that Amazon's buying, because Amazon's not going to take the work away from FedEx and UPS, not just their own work. They're going to take everybody's work, because Amazon, their mode of operation, modus operandus is that they are going to do exactly what they did with servers. The way that they're going to reduce their costs is they're going to start doing fulfillment for Target. They're going to start doing, hey, let us do that for you.
Why should Target do that?
Yeah, you don't know how to do this. We know how to do this.
Amazon always has trucks and planes driving around. Let's just, we'll take it.
That's what this whole process is. This trucks, the planes, everything else is going to be providing a service.
I'd be much
more
worried if I was UPS and FedEx.
Oh,
terrified of that.
They are, because UPS itself, same thing you're talking about the planes. That's what they did. They got their infrastructure down, and they carry all the U.S. mail. So they fly the mail across the country. They take it on their trucks for the government, and Amazon's going to come in and eat their lunch. Same thing you're talking about. That's what they're doing. It's a massive takeover. We're all going to be wearing Amazon socks, because I'm going to have an Amazon brain in about 6 years. So boohoo, America.
Jeff Bezos, richest man in the world.
Well, and what's amazing is Amazon's able to do this without being a monopoly in any given market. So they always have a minority. They just have it on all of them.
Except for what?
Putin. I think Putin's richer than Bezos, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. There's some
the
African
Queen of England's
leaders.
supposed to be too, but we don't know that either.
She's doing okay, but I think Putin's got more because he's got Rosnost.
Why does he even bother working then? Makes no sense.
Because he likes the job.
Good job.
Why does Jeff Bezos work? He's got $150 billion. There's nothing he can't buy.
He's still trying to take over the world.
That's because
he's got the bald head. He's got the one big eyeball. He's got everything going on. He's probably Blofeld if you like.
What you can't
took
buy?
His mask off.
You know what you can't buy with $150 billion? A normal laugh. It's the one thing he can't get.
Well, if he had no money, he'd still have a bad
He laughs
laugh.
like
His
a
wife loves that
hyena.
man. Have you seen the interview? His wife was like, I heard that laugh and I was in love.
His wife's got. Oh,
His wife
she said
loves
that.
laugh. Yeah, she loves his laugh.
Wait a minute. Now I have
They're
to
meant
play
for each other.
a compilation of Jeff
be a
Bezos
chef. Maybe
laughing.
you want to be a dancer. I don't know what you want to do.
I'm not sure my boss is going to like that.
That was pretty normal. That's pretty normal.
But you do need to follow your passions.
Right.
I would love for it to be after I'm dead.
It's kind of scary.
It's already clicking down. We're going to use everyone.
I'm telling you, all he needs is a white Persian cat.
No,
he really is.
That's coming up too, but that was actually not supposed to be a bad pun. And then disclosure, you are an investor in Business Insider, which is wonderful.
A happy investor. Thank you.
It is
All right,
great.
enough Jeff
Best
Bezos
midnight
laughing.
snack.
I just had to, just so people know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
You still never saw Sorry to Bother You, did you?
No, with the white voice? The guy talks in the white voice?
Yes, who talks a white voice. It is a direct assault against Jeff Bezos. I just remembered that you never saw that.
I
so
have
in
it
that
on my,
movie,
it's on, I can get it on iTunes now, so I'm going to watch it.
I'm gonna spoil it for you now because it's the end of the year and I don't care. You took too long. You should have watched it. A spoiler for anybody listening. If you don't want to hear it, then Sorry to Bother You. Black guy.
Put it on.
Uses white voice and basically he gets promoted to meet the top guy.
Yeah.
And the top guy ends up being a Jeff Bezos type. And his whole thing was he wants to control the world with the workforce. And the way he gets his workers to work harder is he gives them this drug that turns them into horsemen. And he has them working 24/7,
Wait a minute, that's not in the trailers.
And they become,
It's not in the trailer. That's the
Are you
weird,
making this up?
No, it's the weird third act. The third act was like, we have a whole plan, and then we get to the third act, and we're going to take some drugs, and then we're going to write something
This is the part I was talking about.
Cash is green here. Sorry to bother.
So he keeps getting hung up on because
make some money here. Use your white voice. My white voice. I'm not talking about Will Smith's wife, like this young blood.
Hey, Mr. Kramer. This is Langston from Regal View.
As always, we'll be getting that out to you right away.
You're doing so good with the voice thing.
Holla, 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 holla.
Can you do that voice, oh doctor?
I can.
Can you sound? Can you do the one? But I don't know about the horseman thing. I don't know if I really want to see this now.
You have to absolutely watch it. It is directly reflected on Bezos' control of the world. You have to watch it, and about slave labor and people not getting paid for their jobs working in these warehouses.
Well, that's actually was one of the big Amazon stories this year. A big breaking story from a UK undercover reporter hired 6 months undercover in low-wage Britain, talking about warehouse workers being forced to pee in bottles because they couldn't leave the floor for a bathroom break. Now, this is in the UK, but a number of people say this also happens in the United States. Of course, we've also seen articles that say executives at Amazon cry at their desks. Sometimes I wonder how much of this stuff is real and made up. Is this the media doing the same thing you were talking about, just kind of stirring
I
the
hope
pot?
so.
Workers describe breaks as one 30-minute unpaid break and two 15-minute paid breaks. But despite having legally compliant break times, workers noted they had to walk quite a distance from the main work area to the break area.
Oh, poor babies. They had to walk.
Amazon did actually raise the hourly wage to $15 an hour, but then they cut all the bonuses. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm of mixed opinions on this.
I've been to the warehouse, and I'm not really going to even joke about someone having to walk, because as big as those things are, they just built a new facility that's the size of 2 football fields. So depending on where you're working at, it might take you 6 minutes to get to your area to quote unquote break. So if you don't get the break time to start until you get there, that's what people are talking about. Yeah. I'm not going to make a joke about somebody being on their feet for 8 to 9 hours a day. Again, they chose that job. That's a job they chose, but their concerns are real because they're the ones working every day, getting out my package that I need to have in 2 days, and God forbid I don't get it in 2 days, I cry like an infant child.
This has to be a horrible time of year to be an Amazon warehouse worker, right? I mean, this is
well, without bonuses.
I don't know. I worked my first job was shipping and receiving for a electronics company, and we worked our butts off. like you know, it was. Hey, we had really short breaks, and we
jobs in the world you actually have to do physical labor and work your asses off.
Like I said, they chose that job.
I mean, if I didn't like it.
I worked at Ford. I've worked at International.
Did you work on the assembly line?
Yeah. I worked in the assembly line at Ford. I also worked.
That's got to be horrible. Tough work.
It's not as bad as you think because they pay you a lot.
Right.
I got.
If you're a UAW guy, you make a lot of money.
Right. What's the worst job you ever had, Alex? I know you've had some bad ones.
I only had one. I delivered pizza for Domino's one day.
One day?
I never really finished. I finished. I walked away. I didn't even try to get my check. I didn't come back. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
What's your worst job, Owen? What's the worst job you ever did?
I've never had a bad job. I've never worked any kind of fast food or food. Yeah. I'm already big. I chose myself. I'm not going to go put myself in another diabetic situation. Every job I've ever had has been good. I worked at Kmart. I did film developing, and that was awesome. Then I went with the family, did the UPS thing. Then my dad opened his own computer business. I went to work for my dad.
This is a generational thing that the kids, I mean, like JC, do you think he doesn't, and my kids have the same attitude towards where I worked at McDonald's, which I think some people would say, oh, that's a horrible job. I loved it. Because I was busy, I had to work really hard. The day went by fast because you're working hard. I like waiting tables. Same reason. Your feet are killing you at the end of the day, but it goes fast because you're working hard and you make money in tips. Do you think that millennials are not?
I think millennials have a totally different attitude about everything.
I shoveled horse manure for 4 years.
And you
4
thought
hours
you
a day.
thought that was better than the other one?
It was better than Domino's.
Than Domino's? Wow.
Okay.
That's a opener.
Manure, man.
Yeah, it was like for one day. But it was like, but the thing is that it makes you work harder because you know that no matter how bad it is, you could be shoveling horse manure. You just keep that in mind in the back of your head all the time.
I did have one bad job. First job I ever got a real paycheck from. I worked at my school, and I was painting lockers and peeling gum off of desks and all the cleaning stuff. And let me tell you, for the rest of my high school experience, when I saw people chewing gum, put that gum in the trash can. You don't know, somebody's got to clean that up. I was on people left and right. Don't write on lockers. Somebody's got to clean that up. Like, I was militant about it for the rest of my high school career.
What's funny about that is that, Rwanda, we have a school in Rwanda, so I think about it a lot, but they have this thing called Umuganda.
Wakanda?
Rwanda. Not Uganda.
It's
Rwanda.
Wakanda.
No, not Wakanda. It is close to Wakanda.
Hills.
It is Wakanda. It is where Wakanda is.
You can't see it, Alex, but it's there.
It is. It's probably in the northern part of Rwanda. Yeah. Anyway, so
where the gorillas in the mist.
Exactly. So, they have this thing called Umuganda at the end of the last Saturday of every month, where everybody has to go. Legally, everybody has to go out and clean their area.
I think that's really good.
And work on schools and ditches. And I mean, like the president goes out and is
Japanese
digging ditches.
School kids. There's no janitors in the schools in Japan because the kids have to clean up.
Well,
and the kids are very tidy as a result.
Rwanda is the cleanest country in Africa and one of the cleanest countries in the world because no one throws anything on the ground, and the only people who do it are like the Mzungus, that throw something on the ground, and the Rwandans will give them like the stink eye. Like, really? Did you just do that?
This is
did you just throw that on the ground?
I sip this delicious cognac. Umuganda.
Umuganda.
So, John, do you want to continue slandering millennials, or would you like to?
The millennials love to be talked about.
They do.
In any way.
Yeah.
Positive, negative.
Old people are the ones talking about millennials. They're not writing posts about themselves. All old people complain about what they didn't do.
We were baby boomers. It was ours to lose.
You ruined the country, and now we're sitting here trying to fix it with hipster mustaches and beards and records we're trying to bring back.
Says the guy with a chia beard.
Yeah, and that guy's got a chia beard. He's lecturing us.
Because
what's wrong with this picture?
The war, the famine is all done by old quote-unquote white men. So don't tell me about millennials.
The old quote-unquote white men aren't in power anymore.
I'm an old white man, and I have not created a single famine. Although I
haven't either.
Every once in a while.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
You sure about that? Let's check the records.
I think it's Gen Xers that's the problem.
Okay, let's blame Gen Xers. That's a different take.
I think that would be you.
I'll roll with that. It would be me. It would be me.
All right, we got 2 Xers and 2 boomers, and we are going to continue. John, I am thrilled to have you back here. Is it Dvorak.com/blog? Is that the site?
Dvorak.org. It's always Dvorak.org/blog.
Do you still have that?
I do, but Dvorak.org/NA is where I recommend people go.
Narcotics Anonymous?
Yes, NA.
First
no
steps admitted you have a
agenda,
problem.
I know. And your Twitter feed, I hear, I'm not on Twitter either, but I hear your Twitter feed is very much like the old blog was, with lots of images.
You know, my Twitter feed is a big disappointment. I want to ask people out there, one of the reasons I came to this show is that at the real Dvorak on Twitter, I've lost 1,000 or 2,000 people.
Those are bots.
I don't care. They're gone. I'd rather have.
I lost 100,000 before I quit.
I need more people to subscribe to my feed.
All right.
From this show.
How would people do that,
I'll come
John?
back to this show if people go to Twitter and knock my numbers up a couple grand.
How many do we have to bring you up by to get you back on this show?
3.
3,000.
Yeah, that's all. It's low.
Okay.
Where are you now?
Wait a minute.
I'm at 102.
If you get to 105,000, you'll come back on Twit?
Yes.
Folks, I beg of you. I plead with you.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Tell your friends. Create sock puppet accounts if you have to.
I don't care.
He doesn't care. At the real Dvorak.
No,
Let's get him to 105,000 right now.
Yeah, here we go.
If John,
if there's any oomph left in this operation.
Let me do this for you. Look how good this feed is. You get silent movie gifts. You get, it is full of jam-packed with goodness. John does everything that you used to do that was so fun on the blog. Look at that. Charlie Chaplin, what an amazing guy.
Yeah, there's the scam.
It was all fake. Oh,
fake, like everything else.
I think that clip is fake. That's CGI. There's no way that's real. Okay. Anyway, it's a great feed. You can debate. You can argue. You can DM John. He loves the DMs.
No, I don't.
No. I'm trying to help you, John.
I have spiders.
At the real Dvorak. You want to get up to 40,000 and you'll come back?
40, I'll come back.
All right.
I'll come back either way.
At
But anyway.
Alex Lindsay with an S-A-Y. Oh, doctor, do you want to plug your Twitter?
He's already gotten 3 more followers.
John, you've already gotten 3.
Yeah.
Let's
the
start
power
the
of
count.
Twit.
There's a follower, and there's a follower.
There's a guy.
We're
There's
all
a
in the
follower.
studio.
There's a follower.
We've got followers galore. Before this show is over, I want to see John C. Dvorak at 105,000 followers, and he will be back when? Don't tell me when your vinegar book is done.
I need to come back to plug the vinegar book, and then I have another book.
You're never going to publish a vinegar book.
And then I've got...
I still have, since the last time you were here, in my cupboard in my pantry, 3 wine bottles with paper towels shoved in.
Right.
It's been 3 years, John.
Perfect.
Okay.
A good start.
It takes a long time to make good vinegar.
He's going to put it in a bottle and sell for 3,000. Don't worry about it.
All we ask. That's all we ask. What's your O-Doctor? What's your Twitter handle?
O-Doctor. I'm O-Doctor on everything, and if I'm not there, it's not relevant.
O-H-D-O-C-T-A-H. When I quit Twitter, I was at 611,000 followers. I'm now down to 500,000. So I think a lot of those are bots. Because the truth is, the less you tweet, the more followers you get, in my experience. Owen, JJ, who's that lady on your picture?
Oh, I do photography. It's for my secret Instagram that I have. So when people follow me, they get to see stuff I post up every once in a while.
The secret
But I do stuff. Yeah, I do stuff every once in a while with secrets.
Our show today brought to you by A Better Way to Invest. You see the trouble John's gotten into by buying individual stocks on his own. You see the trouble he's gotten into. If he'd only gone to Betterment, the investing tool for people who refuse to settle for average. It's a smart way to manage your money. It's the largest independent online financial advisor. They are a fiduciary. That's an important word. A very important word for you. A fiduciary means they work on your behalf. They make recommendations in your best interest. They're not incentivized to sell funds. They don't have their own investment products to sell. They are advisors helping you get the most for your money, and they do it for a lot less than that guy with the shingle down the street. By the way, they're a lot smarter, and they use modern technology to make it easy. The Betterment app is stunning. It's very easy. In fact, if you're like me and you don't want to talk to an investment advisor, you just want to get text messages and get information, the app is fantastic, and it costs you even less. It's a flat fee. There are no hidden costs anywhere, no matter how much money you invest, no matter who you are, you get everything for one low, transparent management fee. And yes, they may transact a lot, sometimes many times a day, doing things like tax loss harvesting, but you never pay a transaction fee. It's just one low management fee. Betterment gives you constant access to the key information and tools that the pros have. And their app allows you to track your progress, so you always feel like a smart, savvy investor. Now, I'm not going to kid you. Investment involves risk. But when you can get up to a year managed free, that just means your returns are going to be better. For more information, visit betterment.com/twit. Up to 1 year managed free. Betterment.com/twit. Outsmart average with Betterment. Nobody on this panel is average. That's for sure. Okay, I will let you. We could talk about Google. We could talk about Microsoft. We could talk about, let's talk about Elon Musk.
Everybody's pal.
What a gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Elon Musk. Now, he started the year on a high note. In February, they launched that Falcon Heavy with his Tesla Roadster in it and the Starman. And they did the most amazing thing we've ever seen. I remember we watched this live on Twit. They landed those two boosters in tandem. Remember seeing that? That was the most mind-boggling thing I've ever seen. Let me reload this page so you can see the animated GIF. It's like ballet.
GIF.
Really? You gonna go there? Really?
Bring out the laser cats.
Really?
It's a battle.
It's the guy who invented it is what he calls it, so I felt it.
Okay. GIF? Should I say GIF?
You should.
I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's GIF.
Graphic
Interchange format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call whatever you want.
Is it a gift? Do you want a gift or a gift for the holidays?
A gift.
You want a
gift?
Not getting anything.
No, I don't care about the debate. I'll call it a GIF.
Well, you can call it whatever you want.
It's pretty. So Elon's doing some amazing things. Even Tesla's doing some amazing things. But then he's also doing some incredibly stupid things, mostly around his Twitter account. Like the 20.
Just like the president?
Just like the president.
Yes,
I think some people should just not tweet.
I don't know what he's thinking. Because Elon, when he tweets, it affects the SEC relationships.
Yeah. So Elon, as you may remember, about the middle of the year, for reasons no one knows, said, I'm thinking about taking Tesla private for $4.20 a share. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, right?
It was unbelievable.
Apparently,
I'm surprised he's not in jail for that.
He was trying to impress Grimes, his hipster girlfriend, with the pot reference.
Right.
$4.20 a share.
Oh, I somehow missed that reference.
It was for Grimes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
$4.20 a share. And that's for...
that's why he smoked pot on the Rogan show.
Yeah. So then people say, well, wait a minute, how are you going to do that? And he says, funding secured.
Yes,
funding
that's what
secured.
he said.
Which implies that he actually had the money, which he didn't. He thought he had the Saudi government. By the way, it's probably a good thing he didn't take the money from the Saudi government. There's a few companies in Silicon Valley who wish they hadn't. It turned out he didn't have the funding secured, and the SEC said that's kind of a material misstatement of the facts. That's what we call a forward-looking statement. And they fined him $20 million. He says
that's about right.
It was worth it.
Why was it worth it?
He needed to put a little link that said safe harbor statement.
Yeah.
It needed to be like linked to the very
end. It's not a forward-looking statement. Exactly. This is not a prospectus or an offering of funds.
Right, exactly.
I'd like to say two things.
It was pump and dump.
One, we're not going to Mars. And two...
yes, he says we're going to live in Mars.
So
you and
one,
me,
we're not
Owen, in your green beard. We're moving to Mars, dude.
No one's going to Mars.
You're going to be my secret Shia lover on Mars. It's going to be you and the green beard on the red planet.
I'm trying to focus. You're not going to break my focus. And secondly, that man needs to shut up with his self-help tips because obviously he needs a nap. He's a cranky child who only gets 4 hours of sleep and thinks that he can still run the world and be Iron Man. He needs sleep. Somebody spank him on his butt, give him his 420 blunt, and give him a blanket and put him to bed.
And that's his problem.
He needs to sleep.
Nap time for Elon.
It's mostly
and Germany.
Rhineland was my land once more.
We're not going to Mars.
Joe Rogan. Do you know Joe? You probably know Joe because you're a famous podcaster, John C. Dvorak. You probably know Joe Rogan.
I know of him. I know him kind of, but I've never been on his show because he doesn't have people like me on his show.
Who does he have on his show?
I don't know. Whoever. You have to ask the booker.
I got to get on Joe Rogan because my son doesn't think I'm anything until I get on Joe Rogan. He says, you ought to be on Joe Rogan.
So you could be on the Jimmy Fallon show and you wouldn't be
Wouldn't
anything.
matter. Son's 26. I bet Jason's
Joe Rogan needs to be on Twit. How about that?
No, I don't think that would impress him. I think
it doesn't work. You know what? You want to impress him? You bring the man to you.
Ooh.
You bring the mountain to you.
Joe, I got a bottle of something that looks like 100-year-old Remy Cognac waiting for you, and a tulip glass to boot. So he goes on, Elon goes on Joe Rogan. And Joe, actually in a very wise move, says, would you like to smoke a joint with me?
It's legal in California.
I think that's a brilliant podcaster move.
I thought it was dynamite. And then
here I am with legal alcohol.
Yeah, but this is, come on.
This is child.
Some crappy L.A. weed. I mean, it can't be that good.
The Navy immediately says, we're going to have to look at our contracts with SpaceX.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to smoke pot if you're doing, defense contracting.
Well, I don't know. Is that true?
Well, it turned out it didn't affect them. No, the Navy didn't pull out. They said, yeah, it's okay.
Don't do it again.
Did they say that?
No, NASA.
Because is this because nobody in the Navy ever smokes pot?
What are those ropes made out of? Oh, hemp.
Yeah.
Anyway, immediately the CAO, the chief accounting officer of Tesla, left after a month on the job. Apparently not a fan.
He may have seen something in the books that he didn't like.
Or maybe he just didn't want to work for Elon. There was a very strong article about how hard it is to work for Elon Musk. That came out this week.
I think it's hard to work for a lot of CEOs.
He's like hard to work for, the same way Steve Jobs was hard to work for.
Yeah, I mean,
but people worked for him and gladly.
But the thing is I think that they see, when you're when you're a founder, especially, I think you see this gap between where the world is and where you could see it could be, and it makes you angry all the time, and you just keep on, and you just kind of are trying to push it that direction. And I think that that's part of what a lot of these founders, get caught up in, is they can see a long way down the road. And they're just frustrated they can't go any faster, and they have to do it through all these people that aren't moving as fast as they'd like.
That's a good way to put it.
And
I think there's some truth to that.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So they're frustrated and angry at people.
Because you look at somebody who's doing what he's doing with SpaceX, what he's done with electric vehicles.
Right.
Now he's got a tunnel.
The problem is you don't have
the tunnel is something he had a little something before he designed that thing. It's basically he reinvented the subway. only it has no exits. You have to own a Tesla to go in it, and it has to be a specially equipped Tesla with sideways wheels, and it only goes 49 miles an hour, and it's bumpy.
No, it goes 125 according to him.
It will, but it doesn't yet.
And they put you in a little tractor, a little thing.
There's an elevator that takes
it drops you into
one person at a time. Because Elon doesn't like mixing with the little people in a subway train.
What Elon should do is go and embrace this full-on Iron Man and make more blowtorches for the government and guns or something, because that thing was cool. That thing was badass.
All that is it's a finishing torch for roofs that they just put a bunch of stuff on the front of it.
It's not anything like a flamethrower.
No, it'd be awesome.
They charge $500. How much would that cost?
And they sold out.
It would cost $500.
The roofing
sold out in 30 seconds. The
roofing torch itself is not very expensive. I think it's probably like $120 or something. But but to build your own exterior to make it look like a gun and to make it all like all those things, that would cost more.
Somebody in the chat said he should make a chainsaw gun. I'm down for that too. I buy one of those.
There you go.
$500. Go ahead.
What a rail gun.
Elon.
Hey, wait a minute now. Here's a Magnum L100 field torch kit with a standard nozzle, $142.75.
Right.
Put a plastic gun around it.
I know, but once you got done with that,
pistol,
if you
put
take
that on there.
If you take the time that it takes to do it and put all that in, and you account for all those things, $500 is not a bad deal.
It'd be kind of cool to have it in New York City.
Yeah, really. I wonder how many people who bought this are, is it on the wall? Is it over your fireplace?
No. This is a party trick. This is a party trick out by the pool. Hey guys, we finished sous vide. We finished sous vide our steak, and you pull out this gun and like.
It's not good for that.
It's not.
It's
I know, but you'd still do it. Doesn't matter.
I don't know if I think the meat would be ruined by whatever that uses.
It doesn't have to be good for it.
My favorite thing is a rapper bought one of these and had no idea who Elon Musk was. And as he's playing around with it, he's just talking about, man, whoever made this thing is a genius. And the person next to him is like, yeah, the guy who made Tesla, the space guy, I don't know who that guy is, but whoever made this thing is a genius. And he's just throwing flames in the air. So it's definitely a party trick type of deal.
He sold $4.5 million worth of roofing torches.
I thought it was $20 million.
$20 million?
Yeah, he sold. I think he sold $20 million.
The register said this guy could sell pork pies at a rabbinical convention.
Did he sell hats or something, boring hats or something stupid too that he sold out of? Like I said, he's good at selling stuff, everything but cars.
He's a sales guy. He sells plenty of cars.
He's a good sales guy. He sells every car he can make.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them buried in the desert too. If you look
next
around,
to the ET cartridges,
there's a whole bunch of cars in the desert.
Really?
There's a bunch. You can look it up.
Like flops.
They don't know why they're there. It could be dogs. It could be lemons. Who knows?
He sells pre-orders for cars. I know that.
Aliens.
He sells. I gotta find the Tesla cars buried in the desert.
No, they're not buried. They're up above ground. They're not. They don't dig a hole and put them in there.
They just park.
They're parked in the desert.
He put them in the tunnel. That's what he's making the subway.
That's what the tunnel's for.
Hide all the cars.
Fill them up with Teslas and then hit that flamethrower and burn them all.
I think they're all piled right on top of the power computers.
Or the ET cartridges.
Yeah, there you go.
Next.
We're done with Elon.
I think so.
Just before a verdict on Mr. Musk. Brilliant genius, needs a nap.
I
think needs a nap.
Both.
Okay, both.
Okay, both.
We'll give him both. He's a genius at something.
Yeah, needs a nap.
And he needs a nap.
Yep.
Acquisitions this year. AT&T bought Time Warner. A judge said, no problem. Go right ahead. Own Time Warner. AT&T promised we will not raise prices. First thing they did.
Raise prices. Yeah, we can promise all you want.
They're all screwed.
You could promise anything you want. If the judge says it's okay.
We're not doing any of that.
Bottom line is they're all screwed.
T-Mobile buys Sprint. $26.5 billion. Or maybe not.
They've been trying to do that one forever.
That hasn't closed yet. They got regulatory approval from CFIUS.
It actually makes sense, though, because there's no way that T-Mobile or Sprint can
on their own
go head-to-head with Verizon and AT&T without being together, so it makes sense.
The biggest software acquisition ever, this must have stunned you, John. You probably choked on your licorice. IBM to buy Red Hat for $34 billion.
Yeah, well, they've always been, IBM's been a huge Linux supporter since the get-go, literally.
Yep.
And so they saw this and said, well, Red Hat is a pretty commercial place. I mean, they do the high-end stuff for people that, they put a Red Hat installation in.
It was a service company, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
For a free product.
And that's what...
It's pretty amazing.
It was actually brilliant. They made a very... I don't think their sales aren't $34 billion. There was a few billion a year, but they made a very successful...
They paid too much.
Yeah, they paid too much. But they made a very successful service company on a free product, which was an innovative thing at the time. It's actually the business model for open source software.
Right.
Well...
And
isn't a local garage that services Lexuses or Toyotas? They're not
profitable business.
They're not selling cars.
Right. They're selling service.
Now, you were saying what?
You, John, always thought highly of IBM because you said they got the patents.
Yeah, they still do, although it turns out that the Chinese now, especially Huawei, is now the patent kickassers.
Oh, we're getting to Huawei. Huawei. We're getting to Huawei. I want to do a whole thing on China, but let's finish the acquisitions. Finally, let's see. This is a minor one. Flickr was bought by SmugMug.
What's Flickr?
Yeah, who cares? And that's a Yahoo photo site, right? But Yahoo, which was bought by Verizon, turned out to be not such a good acquisition.
What was the point?
They've written down the cost of it. They've written down, I can't remember, a huge amount, 100 billion, 400 billion, some amount of money. And they were going to call it Oath.
It's still...
Oath, that's right. I forgot that already.
They got rid of the Oath name. That didn't work.
But I think that...
4.6 billion.
Isn't Yahoo still like the third most visited or second most visited website? I mean,
really? When's the last time you went to Yahoo?
2012.
I think it is.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying I went to do it, but
they're going to rebrand both.
I'm just sad they killed Tumblr. Tumblr's going to be on its way out. I want to go see their traffic.
Wait a minute. They killed it by taking the porn out?
Oh, yeah.
I agree. It was just a porn storage facility.
I tell you what, I always give out little secret gems and stuff like that. I would use Tumblr and explicit content to direct traffic, free traffic, because you put the right ad word in there, you put the right click in there, people see a boob and they click on anything. You could send some free traffic and boost up some numbers real quick on Tumblr. But they don't want to shut that down, so I got to go find a new avenue to eat my lunch at on my sneak tip. But, you know, it's on its way down. Now, I don't know who's going to Tumblr. My daughter's website's on Tumblr. I don't know who's there. She's over there watching SpongeBob videos all day.
That's what's kind of sad about it, because Tumblr was a really nice, easy place for young people to make not a porn site, but just a little blog, pictures, stuff like that.
There's a million places you can do that.
Not as simple.
Not as easy.
Yeah, Tumblr had a look and feel that I thought really was.
I have to admit, when they said that they were
better than Blogger,
they were getting rid of all the porn. I was like, Tumblr is still around? Like I was kind of surprised that it was still there.
Well, you don't look at porn, obviously.
Yeah, and it's really weird. Tumblr's like
a storage depot for porn
facility. Yes,
yeah,
it's a giant porn silo.
Tumblr is so insane. Like it's like a daytime kid show, and then there's a nighttime after party. It's really weird how many cartoons and gifs and fun stuff that goes on, and then there's like this dark world. And I thought they kept it pretty separated, but again, it's like they shut that part of it down. I'm like, well, you just cut out half of your traffic. So
you know why they shut it down? SESTA, FOSTA.
I fully understand.
FOSTA, SESTA. SESTA, FOSTA.
Explain.
Apple.
No.
No, well, it was.
It was Apple was the proximate cause, because Apple banned the Tumblr app from the iStore.
They turned it off, and Tumblr had to do something really fast.
They killed the porn. Apple said, "Okay, fine, you can come back."
Yep.
But Apple said it was because of kitty porn. They said it was because kitty porn.
I'm sure there's tons of it on there.
Yeah, because they.
Why doesn't the government go in there and crack down and arrest people?
That's what they should do, but.
I mean, kitty porn, you can't keep it, you can't look at it, you can't do anything with it.
Where are you supposed
Somebody's
to put it?
storing it.
Too bad somebody doesn't
somewhere.
make a giant silo of porn to keep it in.
Yeah, so don't you think the government should go crack down on it? They should have arrested Marissa Meyer.
SESTA,
she's the one who bought it.
FOSTA, or is it FOSTA? It's SESTA, FOSTA.
FOSTA pasta.
These were the two bills that were passed by the, Congress ostensibly to ban sex trafficking. What they really did is they eliminated Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which said internet platforms were not liable for the acts their users commit. They were publishers, or not even publishers. They were platforms, not publishers.
Yeah, this is an excuse for storing porn and illegal images. That's what you'd use it. Well, here's a loophole, and you could drive a truck through it.
But as a result, certainly sex trafficking sites went away, and Craigslist stopped having adult listings. But it also made it hard for adult content anywhere. In fact, Facebook
they didn't go away. They just changed.
Yeah, that's right. They went under a rock.
They didn't go away. They just changed the .ch. They're all still there. They just had to adapt like everything else does. The same way porn's always the first to adapt with technology. The first ones used the 4K video.
I don't want to hear that.
HTML5, all that stuff.
It's also, though...
Porn is not the first in technology. People have been saying that since the 70s.
I'm talking about for video.
Yeah, but VHS was what took over from Betamax, because VHS, you can record a whole football game in a complete movie. It had to do with the amount of time you could store. It had nothing to do with porn.
Well, you couldn't get porn on beta, though.
You would know.
No, I wouldn't. But see, this is why you can't have these. Now my wife's leaving. You can't have these conversations.
I know a good lawyer.
All right.
I was born in '79. I don't know any better.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know. What's porn? I don't know. Oath, which was the merged AOL Yahoo, is no longer Oath. It's the Verizon Media Group starting next year.
It goes from a crazy thing like Oath to something so mundane.
You can't even remember the name.
But every time you heard Oath, you were like, really?
Sweet 20.
You probably did a lot of meetings to come up with
Some stuff
Oath.
in there is valuable. HuffPost? No, not so much. TechCrunch, that's kind of worth something.
TechCrunch is worth it.
And Gadget.
And
Tumblr.
People read HuffPost on Facebook.
HuffPost probably still drives a lot of traffic.
I don't know what it was about HuffPost that I just stopped. I just was like, okay.
I'll tell you what.
Kind of
it was
faded.
Paid content.
Yeah.
That's what it
just
was.
became...
You couldn't tell if you were reading an article by a real person or John C. Dvorak. It was just it was undistinct. You couldn't.
You couldn't. I didn't get paid for that fake content.
See,
either.
they would steal, but that's what they would do. They would just take your stuff and put it up on HuffPo. We're linking. We're just linking. Finally, the last financial story, then we'll take a break. Theranos finally shut down.
Did not get bought. Did not buy anyone.
No one
Who's
bought
going
it.
to buy him?
That was a mess.
And I wonder, investigations now, of course, into Elizabeth Holmes, the founder, as to whether she kind of was acting fraudulently or...
It's going to be a hard decade for her.
She was, the media loved her because she was a female Steve Jobs. She even wore black turtlenecks.
She had a big, deep voice.
Turn like this.
I'm a girl with a deep voice. And I've got a couple of things to show you on the deck.
Let me show you I can take your blood and tell you everything. I only need a drop.
John, we need to get video of her and then have you do ADR over top of it. I think that would be...
That would work.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Bad lip reading. Yeah. Elizabeth Holmes, Theranos. All right, time for a little timeout. I'm having fun. Are you enjoying? Is this okay? Would you like... Alex, have some more...
I lapped you.
Have some more.
Okay.
Let me pour it for you.
All right.
He knows how to handle his
you're the pro.
Baccarat.
All right,
it's crystal.
It is quite good.
It's good.
It is.
I mean, we're not doing
good,
an
I
ad
must
for
say.
it. We're not getting paid for this. And the poor studio audience is sitting there with their tongues hanging out.
Guys.
Not to mention Mr. Greenbeard over here.
Don't you have an eyedropper? Just go ahead and give them all like baby bird drops with an eyedropper so they can all get a taste in the audience.
I am not a brown. No, I've had enough. I am not a brown liquor guy. I just want to say one thing. I am not typically a brandy guy, but this is really. I would drink this
all the time.
All the time.
All right.
Really, seriously.
If I was Johnny Depp.
Do you think that the 1803 or whatever, this is as good as this?
1837.
Oh, that's a better year. Is it as good as this?
No, but if you put it in this bottle,
it becomes better. It's the bottle. It's a magic bottle.
It will become better. He's right.
Actually, and the more you drink it, the better it becomes.
Before we finish it,
you've been drinking that
some
stuff
other
too.
time,
The Costco
we should do
stuff.
should get a bunch of different.
That
cognacs.
stuff is so good.
Test, yeah.
We'll do the 1837. We'll do. John, you want to come back for that? We could do it. 1837. We'll do a taste test. We'll do this.
Oh, is he going to get another
blind
bottle
tasting.
of this?
No, there'll be enough left. We'll do a blind taste.
Yeah.
That's the way you're going.
I'm going to send you some white Henny for your.
The way we're going.
Some white Henny, and you'll have to do a
send it for your
blindfold.
birthday.
We'll do a
get some
blindfold.
Sonia Henny while we're at it.
Sonia Henny. John, do you think anybody under 60?
I don't care. There's
Sonia
be
Henny?
two guys that listen to this podcast that will get that gag, and they're going to love me.
That's the hidden gem right there. That's the gem right there.
I go for the small market.
I think it's great.
Can I tell you how like many people listen to you, Uncle Leo? So I'm at a bar. I'm having dinner with my friend, and there's a guy across the bar, and he's staring at me. And my friend's like, "Do you know that guy?" And I'm like, "No." And she says, "He's been staring at you for the last half an hour." And I'm like, "He's not looking at me. He's probably looking at you. You know, you're good looking." She's like, "No, he's definitely looking at you." I go up to go to the bathroom, and he
doesn't have anything to do with your green beard.
And did he go to follow you to the bathroom? I'd be very suspicious.
He didn't follow me to the bathroom, but he watched me when I went to the bathroom. When I came back out, he was standing outside the door to the bathroom, and he goes, "Are you a doctor?" And I'm like, "Oh, God, you know who I am." And he's like, "Yeah." And he was like 85, 90 years old. He's like, "I've been a fan of Leo Laporte since Leo was Leo." And I know
okay,
he was
stop with the endorsements. Thank you very much.
He was telling me everything about Uncle Leo. And I'm like, "Oh, you know me." I was like, "You got fans from like my age all the way up to like dead. Like you just got them all lined up. They know you, Uncle Leo. They know
Leo Dr. Sonia Henny. Look at that. She's looking right at you, Doctor.
There she is.
Hey, that's a doll right there. She's a doll.
Famous, was she Swedish skater?
All I know is her name.
You know what I like to throw in every once in a while? Ishkabibble.
Ishkabibble.
Ishkabibble. And not her sister, Dishkabibble.
I don't know about that.
Our show today. Ishkabibble. It's just, look, you could look it up.
It's like Park Your Carcass.
Is there a person named Park Your Carcass?
Yes, and that was his name. He was Albert Brooks's dad.
His real name?
Yeah, Park Your Carcass.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Look it up.
I don't believe you.
Okay. You don't have to. Everybody else.
He wins, you understand, folks. If I Google it, he wins.
No. This is the problem. You always have a credibility. You're incredulous. It's like you have to look up Park Your Carcass and Albert Brooks, and you'll find that's who
Harry
he is.
Einstein, known professionally by a multitude of names, including, yes, Park Your Carcass. He looks just like his son. He looks just like Albert Brooks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He's got that look.
He died on stage doing his act.
Probably the same as me. I think I died on stage.
You already died years
Many
ago.
times,
Years
yes.
ago.
Nick Park Your Carcass. He created the name for a skit, obviously, but it became a character that he he did on the radio on, oh, you remember this, Eddie Cantor's radio show. Remember that?
I have copies.
I have copies. How's No Agenda doing? It's doing good.
We're doing well.
Oh yeah. Grammar Police. Grammar Police, ladies and gentlemen.
The No Agenda show, which is on twice a week at 9 o'clock live.
Now twice a week, which is, I think, a very good thing.
Gag never goes bad.
3 years later, it still works.
It still does the same thing.
You do it live Sunday and Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's fun to listen to because you never know what could happen.
Well, we don't rehearse the show.
Right.
And we both develop material, and then
Cray Cray and Buzzkill. It's so much fun.
Yeah, Cray Cray and Buzzkill.
Did he just get married?
No, he's engaged.
Engaged. Beautiful woman.
And I think she's very pretty. And I think he's going to get married.
Where did he move now? He's not in Texas? We're talking
no, he's in Austin.
He's still in Austin?
He's been in Austin for quite a while.
All right. Because the gun laws are lenient there. He likes that. The last time he was on the show, he flashed some bizarre shotgun pistol.
Shotgun pistol. The sheriff, I think it's called, or something like that. And Austin is a very liberal.
I like Austin. It's the People's Republic of Austin.
It's, very much like Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And
without the pier, of course.
With better food, too.
Mm-hmm.
Great barbecue.
We're going to Austin in the spring, I think. For South
you
by.
should go. You're going to go to South by.
Yeah.
You're going to give a speech? No. Do you want?
We're going to do a panel. Please come with us.
Oh, I'd love to go.
I'll pay your way.
Oh, you would now.
You could do a special No Agenda show.
You got to get me back to Spain. That was fun.
Oh man, Serrano ham.
The problem with we don't do the show face to face. We've already made this.
Would it be weird if you did?
Yeah, because the problem is like we've talked about this. Doing the show apart, we can't cue each other.
Right.
So when I work with you, we've been both in radio, and I can cue you, you can cue me, and it changes the dynamic of the show.
Yeah, it makes it smoother, more fluid.
No.
So you don't want in any way know what
we've decided.
thinking.
No, we've decided we have our formula, and we're sticking with it.
I like it. NoAgendaShow.com.
That's right. Yes. It's also, you can go and Google us, and NoAgendaShow.com is a great podcast. You know what I find we're completely supported by the listeners. We don't have any chance of getting deplatformed.
No ads. No YouTube could kick you off for.
We're not on YouTube. We have our own infrastructure.
And you told me that when you go, to do shows in bars and stuff, you bring like a silk pouch, and people just come up and put envelopes in there.
If possible, yeah. Envelopes. Always envelopes. Yeah, that's true.
I can't.
Like the Godfather's wedding. I'm not kidding. He told me this. I know. I'm not. It's great. Did the Niners lose? I think they must have, because we see Bob's Burgers now on the show.
They barely lost.
On the TV. It's this close. You know what? It's Richard Sherman's fault. I'm going to blame him. He's actually a double agent from the Seahawks.
Well, he didn't do a very good job then last week.
Mm-hmm. Well, he has to, every once in a while, has to do well to fool them. That's what double agents do. Our show today brought to you by, and I mean literally, I'll ask you about something that you're up to, Alex, next. I don't want to feel like I'm giving John all the airtime.
I need the airtime.
We're trying to help.
Because I'm down. My numbers on Twitter are down. They're down.
If only John could get to 105,000 followers. Wait a minute. We've just been handed a note.
We got
3,000.
No. That's not 3.
How many followers does John? Let's go to the board.
300.
Let's go to the tote board, Karsten.
No.
Twitter.com/TheRealDvorak. Let's see what those numbers are.
And I'd like to remind people, I'm trying to get to 40. John's trying to get to 105. I'm just trying to get to 40.
I'm trying to get home.
I mean, I got 13 news since the show started, so I've
been stuck at 38,000 for like 5 years. It's like a flat line.
Yeah. The numbers, ladies and gentlemen, take your finger off it.
I had a typo and lost 150
Take your finger off it or click
it's
it.
still 102. It's what it was.
It's nothing.
Before.
It hasn't moved at all. Folks, you're letting me down.
It's Christmas. Nobody listens live. They're going to catch it all tomorrow, and the wave will come.
Nobody listens live. That's true.
The wave will come.
Okay, we'll see. We used to. I remember this years ago when this show was hot. You would say something, and like people, boom. The number would fly, would skyrocket in real time.
It's kind of what it really is. 2 more.
Yes. Someone buy JCD 10,000. That would be nice.
Oh, that's good.
It works.
That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, our show today literally brought to you by Cash our CDN. That sounds like, what's that, Leo? It's a content distribution network. And if you deliver content to your customers, whether it's a podcast, software as a service, you need a CDN. The CDN brings you closer to your customers, so they're getting a server local to them, so it's faster. A CDN does something really great too, and we're really grateful to CacheFly for this. They're 100% availability guarantee with a 100% SLA. It's bulletproof. 100%. I'm not talking 4 nines, 5 nines. I'm not talking a million nines. I'm talking 100%. No more calls at 3 in the morning. The CDN's down, Leo. I never got that call. For 10 years now, this show has been brought to you by CacheFly. I'm mighty proud of that, and I'm very grateful to CacheFly. Not only that, they save us a lot of money. Ars Technica, if you don't trust me, they've been doing CacheFly since 2002. Ars Technica's director of technology says sometimes we have spike events generating 15 to 16 million page views. Imagine that. With CacheFly, you don't see an issue. The CDN just absorbs it. Our customers commend us on that. And that's true. When you open your podcast app and Twit's there, no hiccups, no waiting. It's just there. That's CacheFly. CacheFly is supported by an expert team of smart, easy-to-talk-to, and agile techs that will answer all your questions the first time. You don't get on a corporate phone tree. They handle it. And most importantly, no more waking up at 3 a.m., no more checking the bill every day to see, did we spike? Did we exceed our quota? No, CacheFly will set up a custom plan tailored to your needs based on yearly usage trends. On average, customers who switch to CacheFly save more than 20%. Look, we've been hosting our podcast, audio and video on CacheFly for nearly a decade. I'm giving you my absolute endorsement. This is the way to go. If you need to deliver content, you need CacheFly. We've got a special offer. Now, this is going to end on December 31st, so I hope you're listening live or close to live, because if you go to twit.cachefly.com, you can get up to $5,000 in service credits, but you have to sign up by December 31st and migrate in 2019. That gives you a little time to migrate, but do sign up right now at twit.cachefly.com. We thank CacheFly for their support, for bringing you Twit for 10 years, practically since John C. Dvorak was here last.
We've been using CacheFly for about the same amount of time, and it was because you were using it, and they're amazing.
How many times have you heard the podcast? Bandwidth for Twit is brought to you by CacheFly, CacheFly.com.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question, Uncle Leo, before you get started?
Yes.
Ask one question.
Yes, nephew.
You weren't here when I did the episode with Becky. Did you like my emoji episode?
Yeah, this is wild.
Were you annoyed?
No.
Or were you okay?
It's better than the green beard, dude. No, I loved it.
Okay.
So Doctor did the whole episode as an emoji.
Okay.
A memoji, one of those.
Yeah. Do you have a beard?
No.
I'm a emoji beard.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. It was black, though.
Can we show a clip
Show
of
it. Bring it up. Hit the button and bring it up.
Hit the button.
Have you
It's a
seen
button?
Have you seen the?
This guy's like a one-armed Faker hanger back here going like this.
Have you seen the Nickelback emoji?
The whole song is in memoji?
No, they did just a minute, but it's pretty funny. You have to see it. You have to see Nickelback. Okay, you see the Doctor first.
I'm going to do Doctor because he's here with us. Nickelback doesn't really care.
You should show.
I just haven't talked to you since then. I wondered if you liked it or not.
I loved it. No, wait a minute. This is
I think Nickelback's
tech news today.
is getting
like
a
on that
Rickroll level moment.
Oh, look, when I search for that, I find a Reddit post. Anyone else feel like Twit's really been going downhill?
That was 2017. That was over a year ago.
That was over a year ago.
So much better since then.
See how my numbers do.
We've got great cognac.
Yes, and who cares if you can get some Louis, as they like to refer to it.
Oh, is that what I should be calling it? The Louis?
No, not the Louis.
Some Louis.
Louis Trez. That's what white people call it.
Louis.
Louis Trez. I can't. Here we go. Go ahead, show it. There he is. That's him. The whole show he did that. There's Micah Sargent.
Yeah.
There's Becky Worley hosting the show.
How do we not get everybody to do it that way?
Yeah, I think that'd be a better show.
I thought that was very innovative.
But I think that was
Owen.
before you could do it over top of the video, because that would have even been funnier.
How did he do it? You can do that?
Oh, it was a lot of. I had a capture card. I had the adapter for my iPhone. My iPhone was hot, boy. It was on fire.
I apologize for not, and I should have done this. I should have sent you a note card saying I really appreciated what you did, because that was.
It was fun. It was fun.
I can make handwritten note cards on the internet now.
That's cool.
You can have a machine do it.
And Amazon ships them for you.
No, I don't know. No.
He's got the beard.
Yeah, no, he looks good.
It's not green.
It wasn't green. It wasn't green.
It's not green.
I look, man, I'll tell you one thing. I look real young and sexy in that thing. I got to start put my emoji mask on. I'm about to order one and just wear it and bring myself back like 10 years.
Oh, if
That's
you just
all.
got a rubber mask. That
Yeah.
looked like
you
Have my
should
head
do
be
that.
all smooth. And,
I think it'd fit right in.
I would definitely look
That
good in these
thing
streets.
had bigger eyeballs than you do.
No doubt.
No, it's not
Size of
perfect. These are.
Oh,
They
when
do a little
The problem, see, when you try to be
You
mean,
think?
that's the problem. When you try to be mean,
You can't be mean with big eyes.
you can't
like
be
that.
mean. No, they got all
They're too
doe-eyed
liquid.
stuff.
They're doughy-eyed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to growl and stuff. It doesn't do anger expressions very great. It doesn't want. See, look, I'm trying. It hurt my face to do that. Just to
Yeah,
get
you're
to
hamming
express
it up. That's why. I'm going to have a shout out to Virginia Mount Union.
Are you going to get a T-shirt from them or a sweatshirt?
No, it's a hoodie. They're Division III champions for something like the 13th year in a row or something.
Can people send John? What do you want? You wanted Valdosta State.
Valdosta State and Virginia Mount Union.
I think
Send me some email, john@dvorak.org, and we'll work it out.
All right.
But we'll see. I'm wondering.
But he's got to get 105,000 followers on Twitter. Otherwise, you'll never see your shirt on the air.
There you go. Well, somebody can buy me 5,000. That's pretty easy.
They're cheap.
They're cheap.
This is the year net neutrality was repealed. Do we care?
Well, it's in California, so what difference does it make to us?
We made a law.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think the state has said, all right, we're not going to enforce it until we hear from the Supreme Court because there's some discussion about whether a state can make a law overriding federal law, although it's ironic because...
The 10th Amendment says we can.
It's the states' rights. Isn't that what...
Okay. States' rights don't work with weed, the internet.
Yeah, no, they only work with
things.
slavery. That's the only thing states' rights work with.
Pretty much.
So I've seen articles already saying two things. One, it's been a year since net neutrality is repealed. No, it hasn't. It's been 6 months, barely. And see, nothing bad happened.
Both wrong.
Both wrong. It's only been 6 months, and immediately Netflix and YouTube were immediately throttled by Verizon and T-Mobile. There's a app that actually, surprisingly, Apple approved. There was some question about whether Apple would approve it called Weehee, I think it is, or Meehee, that tests your Wi-Fi speed. And so this data comes from Meehee or Weehee or Weehee.
Well, I think it's in Apple's best interest to have that app exist because Apple's going to be the next one, or is already paying for those things. Yeah. I mean, so the other thing to think about here is that before net neutrality was repealed, YouTube and Netflix and Apple were already getting shaken down for peering within the ISPs. So this was already
down. They were volunteering putting those appliances in.
No, not Netflix. Netflix was holding back. Netflix was like, we're not going to do this.
Well,
Apple
that's
was like, hey,
only with Comcast because
Apple was throwing the
Comcast
money
had
around.
some issue because they were direct competitors.
But the thing is
Comcast wants to sell you TV services.
What we're going to see, I mean, the big word in 2 or 3 years from now is going to be called zero rating. That is what these guys want to do. They want to, the 5G.
The reason they want to do it, it's very hard to explain to consumers why that's bad for them.
Right. Well,
Sounds good.
Well, and the issue is that the 5G rollout will be the most expensive rollout in the history of telecommunications, and they want to pay for it on the backs of Apple and YouTube and Facebook and Netflix. That's their whole business model. And the reason they needed to get rid of Netflix is because, I mean, it's going to cost them, I mean, they're talking hundreds of billions, but it's really going to be $1 trillion or more to do the 5G rollout. And, it's just a really expensive process. And they're going to try to replace your home Wi-Fi. I mean, you're not going to have a Comcast connection. You're just going to have T-Mobile, and your T-Mobile phone is going to be your T-Mobile connection at home.
It'll be so fast you won't even bother with anything else, right?
No, you're not. That's the whole model.
It's so fast and so expensive. At least
it costs them a lot to roll it out because they got to put a transceiver every 250 feet.
Right. Yeah, you guys are living in a dream world if you think this is going anywhere.
I have to say,
yeah.
5G is going to take a long time because it's going to be. So here's what you're going to see:
it's hard to implement. It's microwave, millimeter wave. Signals. You have to be.
This is the exact same frequencies that the government uses for those rays that the ones that burn you. That makes you feel like you're burning and you got to get out of the way.
You mean the chemtrails?
No. You know what I'm talking about.
These are the.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
the government's burning us with rays.
Yeah, dermal exciters.
Yeah, dermal exciters.
So the
do you have it? What is a dermal exciter?
It's those big giant things that they've taken. You find out a bunch of people rioting and they throw this switch and everyone feels like their face is on fire and they run away.
We're not going to Mars. We're not getting 5G. And get off my lawn.
Well, so the thing is that you're going to see it. The first place you're going to see 5G is.
Wait a minute.
I'm surprised you don't know about
Are
this.
is this made up dermal exciters?
Look, search.
I just searched Google for dermal exciters.
Military crowd dispersion. Skin.
Heat.
Have you not seen
that'll do it.
Uncle Leo?
Yes.
The government has dangerous weapons afoot, okay?
It's an
active denial system?
Well, there's a lot of active denial systems.
This will burn you alive. The U.S. military active denial.
It doesn't burn you alive.
I don't
it just makes you feel like you're
this
burning alive.
Yeah, some YouTube nuts.
No, it's not.
No, you're the only one apparently that doesn't know about this.
So anyway, so
they unveiled this 6 years ago. Have they used it?
Yeah, there's something new. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sensation.
6 years ago, Leo.
But have they used it?
6 years ago.
And can I tell you something?
Here's the problem. It goes 4 feet.
It goes more.
No.
This is the same weapon they used in Incredible Hulk to shut the Incredible Hulk down. That's how I know it's real. Because anything you see in a movie has already been created and used by the man.
This is non-lethal. They say it can go 1,000 meters. This is a 2012 article from physics.org. And if it's non-lethal and it disperses the crowd, what's wrong with that? What could possibly be wrong?
I don't think there's anything wrong with dispersing a crowd.
And you get a nice tan.
You don't get a tan.
So,
it was briefly deployed in Afghanistan in 2010, but never since. Never deployed in an operation.
No, because it's horrible.
Because it has such a good effect on people. And again, what if you got a heart condition?
It's 95 gigahertz.
Bloody nose,
it has issues.
A pacemaker.
Yeah, you kill people. It's a killer.
According to military spokesman Stephanie Miller, she doesn't talk like that, but I'm going to make her talk like she's got a deep voice. We have done over 11,000 exposures on people. In that time, we've only had 2 injuries that require medical attention.
Sounds good.
A sensation of unbearable sudden heat that seems to come out of nowhere as far as half a mile away.
There you go.
Anyway, so it's not.
Can I get one of those?
You can't.
Yeah, you can actually.
When's Elon Musk going to sell them?
Get him at surplus. Government surplus.
Exactly.
Get them for nothing.
Okay, how do we get off on that? This is the 5G technology?
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
Same frequencies.
But the thing is that where you're going to see 5G first is venues because it makes a lot of sense for them.
Get really hot and fast internet? Is that what happens?
And you poop. That's the real problem.
No, that's the sonic impellers.
Well, same thing.
Makes you poop.
But if you're in the rural area, you probably won't see 5G in your lifetime.
Ever.
But I think that you'll see it in the venues first, then you'll see it in city centers, and then it'll slowly edge out. But like for instance, San Francisco probably won't see it all over San Francisco until 2030.
And they're already pooping there.
But it's a lot of exactly.
Only downtown
San Francisco,
like around City Hall.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's so disgusting.
Tenderloin.
You think so?
It's
I think it's
so
disgusting.
It's so. I blame Kevin Rose.
I had to teach my kids. We were walking downstairs. They saw a quarter, and I was like, "Do not pick that quarter up." And they're like, "It's a quarter." And I'm like, "You have no idea where that quarter's been. Like it's on the ground."
And the quarter could have been pooped out.
I know. I was like, "Do not touch that quarter. Like do not touch
All
that.
right.
There's a $100 bill
Let's
there. Do not
talk
pick it up."
Huawei. China. This is a big year for China. A couple of things China did. They started using that social credit system first in Shenzhen. In fact, at one point, they were putting pictures of jaywalkers up on the billboard because if you cross the street, they actually knew who you were from face recognition, and they would try to embarrass you. Then they started using social credit system to keep you from getting home loans, from buying train tickets.
Yeah.
So if you were not good, if you were not a nice person, if you were a bad boy in China, and now Beijing says by 2020 they're going to do it all over Beijing.
Oh, the whole country's going to be under this system.
You think it'll come here at some point?
Talking too loud in the subway. All these things.
Is it uniquely
it's
culturally
like
China?
a Black Mirror episode.
It's like a Black Mirror. It is a Black Mirror episode. Actually,
China is pretty unstable country. I mean, like they have a lot of people that are upset, and they have to keep growing. And the problem is, it's going to be hard to keep growing.
It's hard to manage is the problem. But
you've got a lot of people, and the problem is they have I think that the male to female ratio is something like 113 or
well, there's an example of a mistake.
Massive,
because they had
massive
one child
mistake.
per couple.
Massive
for a long
mistake.
time.
And so they have this instability that is built into the country, and they're just trying to hang on to it. They've got a tiger by the tail, and they're going to use every piece of what they can, and they have to keep growing. They have to grow at 5%, 6%, 7%, every year, or they're gonna go into revolution.
But John, do you think the people in China like this? Do you think it's a good thing? I mean, it brings order.
What do you think?
It brings order.
Well, maybe
most people want order.
The people running the country like it.
Isn't that what government really does? Is brings order. That's really what its job is. It just keep things preserve the status quo.
The problem is there's a lot of order that's missing in China. There's an incredible amount of corruption. That's what people are really upset about. Is that
You've read Jacques Berlin or whatever the hell his name was? I got that book still.
Barzoon. Yeah. So why did old doctor leave and they came back with this hat?
It's getting cold in there.
Oh, I'm protecting myself because we talk about China. So I know
there's tinfoil under that hat.
Oh, there's definitely tinfoil under this hat because I know that China's listening, and if I was China, all the stuff they send here, I'd have a kill switch. They could turn off everything in 13 seconds. So just China know that I love you. Story. I think you're doing a good job. I think you and your people have made a choice for your people. And guess what? If the people didn't like it, there's enough of them to do a revolt and just take over it and go anarchy, go crazy, and just bum rush. But they don't do that. So
the average person
they might like it. Maybe
doesn't mind it because it keeps order, makes it more orderly.
I think the average person in a city, you're probably right. I think that would be rural areas, not so much.
Yeah. He's actually 100% right. When I was in China, which was a long time ago, that's the general sentiment. When you were in Shanghai or Hong Kong or anywhere like that, everybody loved how everything was because they had all the luxuries of life.
Look at the example.
Went out into the country, people just were poor. They didn't have anything. Their infrastructure was terrible. The air quality was terrible. So it's a very large disconnect. I'm just surprised there hasn't been a revolt. But obviously they're moving down into Africa now. They're building all those highways. So maybe they're thinking about moving everybody on down to the motherland.
They are actively exporting people. Like let's
yes.
Like it is like when they go into Africa, you know that you have something China needs. I was in Tanzania and there's this huge highway being built and it's all Chinese workers. Like you think it like it's not African workers. It's all Chinese workers, and they plan to leave them there. They're not planning to have them go out there and stay there. They want them to stay there forever. They have too many people. Let's put them everywhere.
President Xi calls it the project of the century. This is one thing the Chinese do better than us. They think long term.
They can manage huge projects. Mm-hmm. That's why if the Chinese were running around here, they would fix that freeway, which for the last 3 years they've been building, and they haven't done it.
See, that's why we need mind control, John.
Well, this is a real issue of soft power and doing it the right way.
Yes.
Because if Africa, the way they look at quote unquote colonizers coming in, destroying their land and their infrastructure, not doing anything, China's like, oh, we'll come build stuff for free. We'll come educate your people. We'll come teach your people. And then we're going to leave our people here just, help you out. And they don't understand that, again, soft power, they're building up their roads so they can move right on in. And that's what's going to happen.
And we're going to hold your port as the collateral for the highway. And you have to sign a contract that says that supersedes your sovereign rights. That's what China's doing. They'll take your country.
John, you were talking about the confessions of an economic hitman. The same exact kind of strategy.
The Chinese do it differently.
But they do it. Well, what's interesting? Here's my proposition. There's a vacuum right now. Used to be you could turn to the Soviet Union and get aid and support. And by the way, the communist doctrine kind of fit because it was giving workers political power. So there was a lot of countries embraced that. We had to fight that, try to convince them of the power of capitalism. But the Soviet Union is gone. The United States has clearly turned its back on the outside world. We want to.
Although we just decided we're going to spend $60 billion in Africa because we're terrified.
Well,
because here's the thing that China gets. But here's what China gets. Here's what China gets out of this beyond all of
I'm
the.
just saying there's a real opportunity because there's a vacuum right now. There's no Soviet Union. There's no U.S. superpower. Right. Here's a chance with this is called the Belt and Road Initiative, to go out and really assert soft power.
And what China wants is also votes in the UN. Let's be clear that there's a lot of countries in Africa, and what China gets out of a lot of this is, hey, we're going to give you a whole lot of stuff, and we're going to call you and expect you to vote a certain way, when we need it.
And the way the leaders in Africa
you're going to give
us
your minerals.
The minerals are important too, but the votes are important as well.
The votes are hugely important because that's the biggest thing. When you hear these African leaders talk about all the infrastructure and everything, the way they talk about China, it's like, okay, are you paid off, or do you really believe in the value, or did you not read the contract? Because I, as an outsider, and I'm not the brightest person on this panel, I'm not the brightest person in tech, I fully understand what they're doing. So the fact that they are upholding and touting China in the UN and on the world stage is so insane to me. But I'm just watching it go by.
But part of that is also that they are egging on the rest of the world that is ignoring them. You know, so they're saying, hey, these guys are great. You know, we would be happy to work with anybody, but the people that are working with us right now are China. You know,
and $80 billion in Africa pales to $345 billion from China's state finance bodies. $233 billion from commercial state banks, $40 billion from the Silk Road Fund, $100 billion from the Asia Infrastructure Investment Bank, and $59 billion from the World Bank.
Oh, the World Bank's kind of us.
So that's versus $59 from the World Bank.
Right.
Meanwhile, we're pulling back. Now, here's the other side of that. We're talking about the Marriott breach. This was the year of breaches, but the breach of all breaches happened a few weeks ago. 500 million, not million, 500 million guests' data was stolen from the Marriott SPG reservation system. Names.
I'm sure that was mine.
I was in there for sure. Passport numbers, not credit cards perhaps so much, but that's not what they wanted because it turns out, according to the U.S. government, this was a Chinese-run, and I think it's credible, a Chinese-run hack, part of something that's been going on since 2014, including the hack of the Office of Personnel Management. We know none of this data was ever sold on the dark web, so it wasn't hackers probably. It probably was a nation state. And the theory is they were trying to get information about U.S. diplomats, U.S. military, travel and whereabouts. Passport numbers are very useful in that kind of thing. So it wasn't about hacking or stealing credit card information.
Just tracking people.
It was about tracking people.
Probably mostly Chinese.
And also dissidents and other Chinese out of the country, absolutely.
You have the tag.
Well, I debated this, and Lisa and I talked about it.
Are you going to take it back?
My suit? You would notice that. We thought about hanging. Well, no, it's. I don't know. I feel like it also helps me when people say,
tag?
"Hey, man, where'd you get that suit?"
This week on ADD.
I could just go Oppo.
No, that's not why you keep the tag on there.
Why? Because it's all.
You keep the tag on there because you're returning it. There's no other excuse or reason.
Because the suit will fall apart if I cut even one stitch anywhere on this thing. It was only $99. I'm just saying.
You paid too much.
I probably did.
I thought you were going to say 99 cents at the dollar store. I swear to God, I thought that's what you were going to say. It's only
it's got a matching tie. That's not cheap.
No, that's $2.
But I do think to bring it back to the normal conversation is that I think Huawei is in big trouble.
So Huawei is, and ZTE practically went out of business because of the U.S. Commerce Department, the Congress, and the U.S. government.
You think Huawei's in big trouble?
Huawei's the #1 at 5G manufacturing. They had, as you say, John, all the patents. They're #2 smartphone manufacturer after Samsung. But
it's not really Huawei. Huawei will be fine. But
phones in the U.S. because of the U.S. government.
Well, you can buy them from Amazon.
You have to buy them from Amazon. Well, I talked to Huawei. They said their director of mobile U.S. mobile devices.
They're nice phones too.
They're the P20 and the new Mate. They're fantastic. They're state of the art. I'm not crazy about the software, but the hardware is incredible. It's way beyond what we're doing.
They want to make the best, cheapest phone to keep it in your hand so they can spy on you. Continue.
I do have to admit that when I logged into my P20, the first thing it says is, do you mind if we get all your information and send it back to our servers? They were very open about it.
Someone asked me just the other day, they were asking me, so why do you use an Apple TV instead of just using the smart TV? I'm like, I do not allow my TV to talk to the internet, period. Like my Apple TV gets to talk to the internet. My TV does not get to talk to the internet. Smart. I do not trust the
Alex,
TV. No.
Alex, see, you with me, brother. Yeah, I tell people the same thing, brother.
Where's my foil hat?
See?
Yeah, exactly.
But no. The same thing,
brother. I have everything I need. I have everything I need with my Apple TV, and I trust Apple to do a pretty good job.
I use a Roku and it crashes all the time.
Where's that Apple TV made out of curiosity?
It is made there, but
where's the Roku made out of curiosity?
I'm not bitching like he is.
Yeah.
But I'm not
the thing is, you got to keep them separated, brother. And the thing that's different is when you have your TV on, the camera can be hacked and turned on when you got the cameras in your TV and the apps in your TV, or they can just turn it on. With the Apple device, you got to turn on the Apple device and make it smart. You know when you're using it, brother. It's a difference.
In my opinion, there's no company working on privacy more than Apple. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Apple is going to be. There's not going to be a hack with Apple, but I can say that there's nobody that cares more about it right now, as far as a large manufacturer than Apple, as far as holding it, because that's their business model.
Unless you're in China, in which case Apple says, "Hey, here, take these servers and run them there."
Well, when we
Apple's not standing up for the privacy rights
on the
of
servers,
Chinese
on the servers,
customers.
but they're not standing up here either. If the FBI subpoenas your server information, they won't let you have your phone, but they haven't let China have the phone. They haven't let the United States have the phone. They hold on to the devices.
Is Huawei a threat or not?
Oh yeah.
What do you think, John? You don't seem to think so.
No, I don't think so.
Because it would be economic suicide for them.
Well, it would be that, and there's already a kind of a microscope on them, and so they're not going to do anything.
I almost feel like this is a political thing. It's about the trade war. The drumbeat against Chinese companies is more about trade war than it is about actual security
I don't think
concerns.
they care to follow the individual. I think for the Chinese, they got issues. The Chinese people
they're
are
not
being
spying
spied
on us.
I don't think. Why would they bother? What was the point?
Who cares?
I don't think that they're spying on us, but the idea of allowing China to have critical infrastructure is crazy.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Like
because
that is like the 5G infrastructure. Nobody should be outside of China should be letting China have 5G.
If we made 5G hardware in the United States, that would be a good. You'd say
we'll get it from Ericsson or Nokia.
The 2 and 3.
Too expensive.
I think the United States should say you can't connect to our networks if you're using.
Well, they're kind of saying that now with Huawei.
Well, they're getting there. They're going to say that. I think that's what's coming. Is that the United States is saying you can't even connect to the network.
I trust Huawei as much as I trust Facebook.
He says. Do you worry, Doctor? I wanted to call you OJ. I'm not going to do that. Do you worry, Doctor? OD, do you worry that we will have, as a result, a trifurcated or more internet where there's the Chinese internet, there's the American internet, and never the twain shall meet? There's no...
I can see that.
They're always going to meet. I agree it's going to be divided up, but you get through.
I was going to say it's the internet, so it's going to work out that way.
It's like water.
But, the separation is only where it can be and the things it can be in. But you can get caught.
You can get caught, and they string you up maybe in China.
That's what I got a VPN for, brother.
Yeah, well,
I'm in Istanbul.
It may be illegal
right
to have a VPN in China.
It is.
It is. Yeah, it's very illegal.
Although I know Americans who go to China all the time and use VPNs.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
a big
not sure
deal.
I would really do that. One of our salespeople asked me,
you can't get no agenda in China.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't even put the CDs on the newspaper kiosks.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It's the Koreans that are more into that than the Chinese.
That's how they keep China from the revolution. They don't let no agenda in. That's how they keep the.
That's right. That's exactly.
If they had no agenda, it'd be over.
If the people heard no agenda, they'd know.
Yeah.
They would know.
What would they know, John?
They would know that they're being scammed.
You're being scammed.
They'd all get really crankky and start a revolt.
Crackpot and Buzzkill say, you're being scammed in the morning.
Yeah, just like that. That would be it. Only it would be produced.
In the morning. He turns on that big bottom. I know he flips that big bottom switch, and all of a sudden he's talking like that. In the morning. Our show today, I want to talk in a bit about Supermicro, Bloomberg, and then we're going to lift everybody up with all the people who died this year.
What?
You're so cheery.
I thought about it.
You can have a roll?
Yeah. We're going to have a roll, and we're going to have music. I'm going to sing You're the Wind Beneath My Wings. It's going to be a tearful moment. I think it's going to be good. You never knew you were my hero.
Let me put my hat
back. I'm taking singing lessons now. Yeah, put the hat back on.
Show today brought to you, and boy are they sorry, by Brex. This is the credit card for startups. Is what we use, and it's awesome. A corporate credit card for a startup, it's a little tough because you don't have a minimum operating history. Brex never requires it. There's no painful paper application. You're a startup. You're working fast. 5 minutes online, you're going to get approved for your Brex card in minutes. Underwriting is not based on your personal liability, your personal credit. It's based on the cash in your bank account. That's how it should be. Brex uses the cash raised by your business to extend credit. There's no credit score. There's no social security number. There's no security deposit. No, it's a real card. It's a Visa card. In fact, it's the best Visa card you can get. 10 to 20 times higher limits than other corporate credit cards with no personal liability. And because they know you're a business and you're spending money on some particularly business-like things, they're going to give you great points, double points on software, triple points on restaurants and travel, 7 times, what is that, septuple points on ride sharing. Here's the best part. There's no limit on how many points you can earn, and points can be redeemed for, what do you think? How about statement credit on transactions? It's cash in your pocket. They got great offers, too. They'll save you money with some of the best technology brands and services. Amazon Web Services, Google Ads, Salesforce, WeWork. If you're a sole proprietor, if you're a small business, if you're a startup, this is a great card. And I'll tell you what I love about it. The first time I used the Brex, it blew me away. I'm used to it now, but the first time I used it was at a restaurant, business meal, and I charged it, and I got a text immediately on my phone. In fact, before the card came back, before the server brought the card back, I got a text that said, oh, take a picture of the receipt. So the card comes back. I sign the receipt, take a picture of it. They say, we got it. We've applied that receipt to your most recent purchase. It's matched. We're going to put all the descriptions in. You'd throw away the receipt. You don't need it. And they've immediately integrated into our QuickBooks, which is really awesome. Not just QuickBooks, but all the major accounting software programs. It's in there. I don't have to save receipts. I love that. Of course, because you can give your employees credit cards, they give you great control on who can use the cards, what their limits are. You could change the limits in real time. Control spend via virtual cards. In fact, right now, if you apply, your employees will get virtual cards right away, and then they quickly mail out the credit, the plastic, to within a day or two. You'll get that. I think this is a great credit card for startups. Join the thousands of startups and tech companies who use Brex, B-R-E-X, to manage their growing business needs and earn valuable rewards while doing so. Get the card free, and Twit listeners get Brex card fees waived in perpetuity. brex.com/twit. Brex.com/twit. I think I have 2 candidates for the biggest story of the year. One is, and it may not even be true, Chinese doctor He says, we used CRISPR. We edited the genes of twins. They were born. They are missing a gene that will give them now they have better resistance against HIV, smallpox, and cholera. Now, Dr. He has since disappeared. I think it's the Chinese government, which hadn't really been clear that this was against the law. It's against the law everywhere else in the world. But the Chinese government had an administrative regulation. I'm wondering maybe they thought this is embarrassing. Do you think He did it?
I think it's a bullcrap story.
I think it's made up.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time, though, before CRISPR is used on humans.
What I thought was interesting was that people were talking about what will happen to these kids without talking about the fact that if you start messing with the DNA, it's not what will happen with kids. What will happen 3 generations, 4 generations downstream?
Risk.
You know, this isn't just the kids that are growing up. It's all their offspring.
People say the same thing about GMOs, genetically modified food.
The problem, you want to let those giant salmon loose in the ocean?
GMOs are, as far as I can tell, no scientific hazard.
The problem with GMOs is not the edited corn; it's the Roundup that it allows for.
No, I agree. And Monsanto's
that's the issue.
And the fact that you know.
No, it's not the patenting. It's the fact that.
I know what he's saying. He's talking about the patents making it difficult for farmers.
No.
They can't.
I'm talking about the
buy
fact
seed every year. They can't reuse.
They can't afford it.
I'm talking about the fact that Roundup is showing up in our food supply and in our blood.
Well, that's not so good.
No, it's not good. But that's the problem with the GMO. Is not the editing.
But if you do GMO, then you don't need Roundup.
No, you that's what you have
put the Roundup in the gene?
No, the GMO makes the corn resistant to so the corn isn't killed by the Roundup. And so that's the GMO. That's why GMO is so effective, is because it means that you can crush all the weeds.
That's a different objection. I don't think we're worried about children being resistant to Roundup. Actually, that'd be pretty good. That's pretty good genetic modification.
It's bad news. Roundup is bad.
Now you're just being silly.
Yeah,
you think genetic modification of children is a bad idea?
Yes.
I think it's a bad idea. I think somebody's doing it.
It's going to happen, right?
If it's going to happen.
If Dr. He didn't do it, somebody's going to do it.
Somebody's going to do it.
And that's my thought process. I feel like he might have done it, and that's why they took him out, because that's what you do in the movies, right? The guy goes and sneaks out something. He made some alien mongoloid babies, and then they took him out. So I know that this is being done somewhere in the secret lab. No matter what country says it, they don't do it. They don't abide by it. It's against the rules. People are doing it, and it's scary and it's freaky. And I still got my hat on.
I think that this is only the first time someone publicly talked about it. I think
exactly.
I completely agree that it's been happening.
Probably in China.
And probably in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Probably in a secret lab in Washington, D.C.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Under a pizza pony.
Fort Detrick.
Definitely under pizza
Fort
parlor.
Detrick.
Fort Detrick. That's where it all happens. That's where the alien is. That's where the spaceship is.
Area 51.
That's where. That's where. Well,
it's a totally different kind of arms.
You're just going to mock the whole idea that anybody's doing anything kind of creepy.
No, I don't mock that. I think it's true. What are they doing in Fort Detrick?
I'm just saying. Just mention Fort Detrick because the cognoscenti out there listening to this show will know what I'm talking about.
The QAnon people will know what we're talking about.
There's no such thing as QAnon.
Okay,
some guy.
I agree with.
What's your other story? What you got?
Okay, so that's possibly the big story of the year. I mean, if it's true, this will be.
It's true.
This is going to be our future. Is genetically modified children.
Okay, it's true that they're trying to do it. Let's put. Can we agree on that?
Okay,
that somebody's working on it.
You know what, you guys? It's not the big story. Then the other big story of the year is Bloomberg's Supermicro story, where Bloomberg asserted with 17 anonymous sources that Supermicro motherboards have been modified by Chinese bad actors with a rice-size component. The boards were used in elementals that were sent to the Department of Defense.
I have those elementals.
That's a good.
To us,
it's a good
to
story.
you.
Yeah.
I actually own an elemental.
Have that candy
that was sold.
Thanks for giving me the worst possible candy for a show host. This thing.
Well, I have to admit, John brought him in, and I looked at one. I was like, I'm not going to eat that one, and I just grabbed the other one.
What is this? A 1,000 chew gummy.
Exactly. Did you rifle through a grandmother's purse at church or something? Where'd you get that from?
It's delicious. I'm not denying that.
So it's good with cognac.
So I need to dissolve it. Would you give me some alcohol, please?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, the so we bought in the spring of 2015.
We brought some of Daddy's juice.
We brought some elementals.
Yeah.
And
I
so
have the same elementals, but we sent them back to get the Amazon ones, right?
But I have the elementals
you have the ones
that were in that batch that they talked about,
isn't it?
So, so we tore one apart. We had it X-rayed. We had people look at it. We had bits.
Do you have the skill needed to really find?
Not me. Not me.
People do.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say who it is, but someone who really knows what he's doing and has the
Scott Bourne.
No, not Scott Bourne. No, chip designer. Okay, so you know, like
people that can do it.
People who can do it.
Yep.
Like we had experts look at it. They tore it apart. And you know what they found?
What?
Nothing.
Nada.
No, it was a rice chip.
Yeah, it is nothing.
It's interesting.
A small piece of brown rice.
Did the same thing. Supermicro hired a firm that specializes in this, Nardello and Company. They went through motherboards, current motherboards and motherboards from that era, found nothing. And Supermicro put out a press release saying we're considering legal action.
They should.
And
how did Bloomberg get this so wrong?
Anonymous tips, all anonymous tips with no proof.
Set up by the Fort Detrick types.
They would be set up by somebody who hates Supermicro or play. The real play is the stock.
Yeah, stock market.
You send a bunch of phony things, and if these guys bite, which they did, and you're short, or you got a put out there, and you let this thing sink down, and and then you buy low, and you're back in it, and you'll never get caught if you do it right.
I think it was a stock play.
Yeah. Scam.
They
got scammed.
Bloomberg reporters are constantly bombarded with these kinds of.
I'm surprised they haven't got better filters.
How did they fall for that? They had good editors. They worked on the story for a year.
There's a lot of lousy reporters out there.
Oh, and I think that also you get caught up in the story.
It's very embarrassing for Bloomberg if it's true.
Yeah, this could happen to any of these big operations.
All right. So, okay.
So it's not a story. It's a non-story.
It's not a story.
But
it's not the biggest story of the year by any means.
Well, it's a big story because it ruins Bloomberg's credibility.
Yeah,
I mean, and the fact that they just keep on hanging on to it and they're just hoping this is going to fade away, sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to post a bunch of pictures of all the X-rays and all the other stuff, and we're going to, just show that, but we're going to talk about it again. They're not going to get to walk away from this. They need to actually back away.
You said that day one on Mac Break Weekly. Yeah. You were absolutely adamant. So was Andy. I was a little less. I thought, God, I can't believe Bloomberg would get this wrong. They must have some reason for thinking it's true.
He never worked in the media.
I never worked in the media.
Yeah, that's why Andy and I knew. We were like, well, it was like when you saw the reactions from Apple and when you saw the reactions from everyone else, like no one does that. A publicly traded company can't say what those companies said unless they're
Apple demanded a
sure.
retraction,
You can't, because if Apple had any hint of not being sure, they would have never had those kinds of releases because they'd be accountable for it. That's a bigger problem than Elon Musk, and so they can't say that. The fact that they were so sure, you knew that they had stepped into something that they shouldn't have stepped into.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next flop.
People dead.
Oh, no. We're going to do people dead? So you're actually going to do this.
You never knew you were my hero. John Perry Barlow passed away this year.
He's a great
Internet
guy.
pioneer, like founder of the Electronic Frontier Foundation. I considered him a friend, a really great guy.
Yeah.
A lyric writer for the Grateful Dead, among other things. I went to a benefit for him with the Grateful, with remaining members of the Grateful Dead and some great people. It was really. Anyway, we're sorry to lose John. He was a great guy. Stan Lee passed away. He was 95.
Yeah, we met him when he was at Tech TV.
Really?
You didn't know he was at Tech TV?
Was he?
Yeah, he did the Big Thinker show.
With you?
Yeah.
What did?
Well, no, he didn't do it with me. I was on the show, but the other guy was interviewed.
Oh, it was Mark Edo.
You interviewed him.
The fake British guy.
Wasn't there?
Roy
a picture of you
he
interviewing
did it.
him?
Mark Edo. Anthony Bourdain. Sad to lose him. Not
Yeah.
really a tech story, but
not
sad
at
to lose
all.
him. Art Bell, weird radio pioneer
Yeah.
and forefather of No Agenda, passed away.
Not really, but okay. I like the jibe.
That was you were waiting for the jibe. I had to give you the
You're
jibe.
supposed to be able to get me on that show.
Art Bell?
Yeah.
Coast to Coast? You've been on Coast to Coast?
Never.
Oh, I've been on Coast to Coast. They call you up. They call you up for a soundbite in the news, like a 30-second
I want to be
soundbite.
on the show as a guest.
Well, he's dead now. You
No,
can't.
they still have Coast to Coast with the Nori.
Yeah, George Norrie. You
Yeah.
want to be on with George?
Yeah. You know
know
George is like a friend of yours.
I know people.
Make it happen, Uncle Leo.
We work on the
Make
same
it happen.
Yeah, we'll put it down on the
premier
list
radio
of things.
networks.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
No, well, you got it made then.
In fact, unfortunately, he keeps stealing my engineers. They all go to Coast, like that's a promotion. Apparently, it is.
I would think so.
Who else passed away? Somebody you'll know, John. Bill Godbout.
Oh yes, yeah.
Most people in computing don't remember that name, but he was
Locally they do.
founder of the S100 bus. Sadly,
No, he was not founder of the S100
but a
bus.
promoter, I should say.
Yeah.
Big promoter of the S100 bus and Godbout Computing. You probably had a Godbout.
No,
think
I
you
never did.
Really?
He had a
wanted one.
blimp license.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the few people in the Bay Area.
Sadly, passed away in the Paradise Fire. He was. One of the
Yeah, he
victims.
had a place up there.
Yeah. Anybody else die? Anybody?
That's it. You got the
Intact.
short list. There's
It's
got
a
to
short
be two or
list.
three more people.
I
that-
should have put the
in
slow motion
technology.
montage. I didn't even
in
get
there.
through the whole song.
The owner of the
Probably a couple of
Seahawks.
chip designers that
Oh,
died.
of course, Paul Allen. I knew there was somebody. Else.
Paul Allen. Yes.
You and I both knew Paul Allen. We both worked for Paul Allen.
Yeah, technically we did.
Do you have any? Did you ever get to go to the yacht?
The yachts. There's three of them he had.
Yeah, but the one with the submarine in it and this recording studio in the
No,
basement.
did you?
No. Greg Drebin got to, our program director. He
Well,
told
he
me
was.
all
What's
about
a useless guy to take there?
I know. Take the hosts. Take the stars.
I never
of the
could
channel.
figure. You know, it was one of those things where you're the guy. Hey, we'd like to bring some of the hosts on the boat. No, you don't want them. You want me.
Those guys are crazy.
That's the way it always works in
Exactly.
TV.
I know. We had a program director, a successor to Greg Drebin, Paul Allen, the owner of the channel, I might add. Have I mentioned that? Says to him, why don't you ever do shows for people like me? And Greg Brannon, the program director at the time, who was also, I think, passed away, said, oh, Paul, we're never going to do shows for people like you. Somebody had to explain to him, you have an audience of one person. Paul freaking Allen!
It's always him. Yeah. That's why he took Internet Tonight off the air.
Yeah.
Paul, for some reason,
Didn't like it.
It was probably the best produced show. No offense to your shows and all the rest of
No,
them.
that was the show that they thought, Tech TV thought was going to be the hit because it was the most produced. It had a script. It
It
had
was
a
super
polished
produced.
comedian.
It was super polished. It was a great show for
Right.
high-end TV.
Yeah.
Slick. It was
Nobody
slick.
watched it.
Well, whether they watched it or not, it was still a good show. They could have
I
done
thought it was
more
great.
with it. They didn't promote
He
it
didn't like
much.
it.
Paul didn't like it. Took a dislike to, I think, probably the hosts.
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch host. And then he just killed it out of the blue. Everyone was stunned.
Stunned.
These are stories of yore. Stories of the old days of tech TV.
Okay, enough of that. I think we can go home. We can take our cognac and go home. Do you agree? Have we satisfied the live studio audience?
I hope so.
Okay. Have you
All right,
all
good.
followed John C. Dvorak on Twitter? Everybody at home, have you all followed John C. Dvorak on Twitter? I'm not leaving this microphone until John gets 105,000.
He'll be here for all the week.
Oh no!
I just want John to come back.
All right.
What are we at now?
102.
Pretty much stuck at 102.
In the olden
Let's go to the
days.
tote board. How many is he? Anybody?
That's almost up to now.
We're up like almost 300.
Almost
Okay.
300.
That's good.
It's better than nothing.
It's not the Twit Army of yore.
No, the Twit Army used
It's
to be
kind of
something.
more like a, I don't know, a Twit battalion.
I want to thanks to the chat room for giving me kudos.
Yeah, we were really thrilled to have you back. John C. Dvorak, noagendashow.com. And The Real Dvorak on Twitter. Make sure you follow him. And if you've got a Valdosta State T-shirt.
Hoodie.
Oh, it's got to be a hoodie?
Well, no, it could be a sweatshirt. I just don't want a T-shirt.
Not a T. It's got to be something with some substance, something thick, something with a nice fine cotton. Maybe a 300 thread count.
Yeah, there you go.
Be
That's what he concerns himself with nowadays, the thread count, believe me.
300 thread count.
He won't even check in at a hotel if it doesn't have 450.
Oh, three. Yeah. Not even.
Yeah.
No, I don't want sheets. I want the skins of young children on my bed.
No, you're not going to get that. You might get that in Afghanistan.
That was too far.
That was too soon. Mr. John C., thank you for coming. Come back, please. That's the problem, is everybody who's watching already follows you. That's really the problem. That's all
That
102,000
is not the problem.
Is that the problem? No. All right. Mr. Alex Lindsay, he's at the Pixel Corps. You should follow him on Twitter. We want to get him up to what, 45,000?
Just 40. I'd be happy with 40. I've been stuck
40?
at 38 for a long time.
At ALEXLINDSAY.
Even if you got me to 39.
Alex.
Somebody buy him some followers. We don't need this.
Buy him some followers. You know, followers you buy are just as good as real followers.
For the purposes of grousing, yeah.
Yeah.
There's my spider. That was the.
Oh, this is on Reddit. This is like all over the world. This is huge.
So this was.
That's a scorpion.
It's
First
gross.
of all, there's a scorpion in Northern California in Marin County.
And a black widow spider is.
We have
eating a
scorpions
scorpion.
now.
No, it's
we didn't have. Is it the Roundup thing?
I think
look
it's
at this
pretty
guy
new.
go.
Oh wow.
And so it's a live scorpion being slowly wrapped up by a black widow spider in my kid's bathroom.
And you posted this. Why?
Because I was like, as soon as I started shooting it, Malachi was like,
Gross.
you should post this on Twitter. I was like, oh, I'm going to post this on Twitter. I was like, I had to take the audio out because you hear us talking about it, but it's a.
And an actual,
But here it comes. Watch this. This is the best part.
And
Oh, we
comes
don't
down.
wanna watch any
see
of
that? See that little leg over there? That's one of the spider legs.
Oh my God!
And like he
Why
lost
doesn't the scorpion just sting him?
He's trying, but this
He's all
spider
stuck.
is wily.
This is why they love it on Reddit.
The spider's been.
Oh man,
He's got some venom. That
Look at
is-
this. Here
Who
comes
would
the big
win,
fight.
a
Here comes the big
horse-sized
fight. Here comes the big
scorpion?
fight. Look at where he's going.
Oh my God! This is horrific.
It's
Children,
horrible. This
stop
is-
watching.
Yes,
This
was
will have a
amazing. It
million
was some great
views.
footage. I was
This
so
will be the
frustrated
shot
that-
that'll
too
get
with
you.
a shotgun.
No, we left him there.
Thank you, faux pas.
Well, the worst part is I put it up there. I was like, a spider. This is why we don't kill spiders. And then someone posted an entomologist. Posted. He's like, by the way, that's a burrowing scorpion. They're nothing, but the black widow that's tying him up, you should probably kill that.
You should have seen when the brown recluse came in. That was something.
Yeah, I didn't.
Those things are nasty.
Ladies and gentlemen, we also thank Mr. Dr. Owen JJ Stone, IQMZ.com. He's on the Twitter, OHDOCTAH, and he wants to say something.
Yeah. Don't worry about my Twitter. The 11,000 y'all, I'm grateful for you to be there. If I get some of the 100,000 that JCD got, then that's useful. But otherwise, if you go to IQMZ.com, up there, I have IQMZ Tech. I'm doing a tech show now. It doesn't suck right now. I actually got 13 episodes in. It's pretty good. And then I do a podcast with my daughter because people always ask for that. It's called
great.
Raising a Ninja. And I got one episode up. I got 4 episodes in the can. So after the holiday season, you get to hear me and her talk about living the dream and balling out in these streets. And also Doc Tales, Megan Roney, Twit's own, is on a new episode of that.
You got her to do it?
Yeah. So go subscribe to these things.
Jeez.
And you will have
one-man
good
band.
content coming your way. Yes.
Did
The Raising the
she
Ninja
say-
thing is what I'm most proud of because me and my daughter be talking about this gangster stuff and how
that's
we be
cool.
doing it in these streets. She's doing wrestling right now this season. It's good.
Did Megan say anything about me?
You'll have to listen.
You gotta listen. I didn't edit it, so I didn't edit it.
Owen, have a great Christmas with your lovely daughter. And all the best to you for the new year. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Merry Christmas, guys. It's great to have JCD back.
Isn't it?
Get him his followers so he can come back more.
Please.
And make sure you send me my plastic baggie of that liquor. I want to taste. Save me some.
I got a Tupperware rating right here with your address.
Tupperware.
I just put the mailing label on the Tupperware.
Delicious.
I
That'll be
appreciate
great.
you.
It's on
People
you.
will be like, That looks like a urine sample. No, it looks like whiskey.
But be careful, it might be.
Cognac.
That guy's not drinking enough water.
Happy Christmas, John. Are you got any plans for the holidays? You going away?
Not really.
Stay with the family?
We're doing our old Christmas thing around New Year's. When everybody's around.
Like Russian Orthodox Christmas? Is that when you do it?
Is that it?
Yeah, January 7th.
Oh, no, it's not that late.
Or you're doing Canadian Christmas in October.
No, we missed it.
Yeah. Alex, Lindsay, happy holidays to you and yours.
Yeah.
We will not be doing a show next week. We will have a best of all week long. We're starting the best ofs now. This was our last live show of the year. Twit will then, we're going to give everybody a week off. They're going to take some time off. We will be back January 2nd, which is a Wednesday, with This Week in Google, Windows Weekly, and then back in the swing of things with all live shows. And let's hope there'll be another Christmas miracle, but before Christmas, and John C. Dvorak will return.
And
So long, everybody.
Before you say it, Uncle Leo, a shout out to the chat room, too. You guys are the best. You guys are here day in and day out, giving everybody tips and information, making us look smarter on the fly. You're the living, breathing Google of the show, and we love you, chat room. You out there killing these streets. Merry Christmas to everybody in the chat room that comes out here each and every Sunday. I see y'all in them tweets. I see y'all. Joseph, I love y'all.
Right, stop
looking for those
numbers. Thanks to Sharif from Vallejo, Jacob from Dallas.
They're people.
Jeff, Inspecteur de Chapeau. Our hat man. He's the guy, ages ago, Jeff measured my head. What was that called? A hatmometer? Conformator.
Yeah.
He phrenologized me. And I want those numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know what he found out.
He won't give them to you now.
Jahil from Santa Barbara. Dave and Will visiting originally from Toronto, from Pleasanton. Anybody I missed? I think Michael at Photo. He's at Photo on Twitter. Michael O'Donnell, thank you for being here. Got a great photo. I want to see that photo of Alex in his smoking jacket because he looks very sharp.
He does.
That was great. That was a great photo.
You should go with that.
That was great.
Look.
I got to show it to my wife because my wife saw the ascot. She's like, "Do not ever wear that."
Get an ascot.
What do you mean? You got to go home to the wife wearing that and walk in with a pint.
I know.
I'm wearing it.
Hey, bring her some of that liquor there, yo. That's what you do. Go home, bring
Honey,
some of that.
I'm home.
There you go.
Throw your hand out.
Hey there.
I want to thank our audience. Every week we get together to do this show, but it wouldn't mean anything unless you were here. We thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season and all the best in 2019. Let's hope for a healthy and peaceful 2019. And we will see you right back here in a week and a half, okay? Another twit is in the can. Happy holidays, everybody. Bye-bye.